So, certain periods of life, my OCD likes to jump out and give me a little scare, and it gets really active and loud and disturbing. And that is when I like to turn to no CD because OCD is a lot more than just stereotypes. It's serious and highly misunderstood. It is a condition that causes people to get stuck in a cycle of stressful, unwanted thoughts, repetitive physical behaviors. If there's anything like this that sounds like it might ring true to you, I urge you to go check out No CD. I was an adult when I figured out I had OCD, and I didn't have No CD at the time. But since then, it has helped me very much.
Yeah, and not every therapist understands OCD or is qualified to treat it effectively, which can make it difficult to find the right help. But OCD is highly treatable with a specialized type of therapy called ERP or exposure response prevention. And with an OCD, you can do live virtual ERP therapy with licensed therapists who specialize in OCD. And OCD therapists are highly trained, so they really understand OCD and won't judge you no matter what your thoughts are about.
Yes, ERP therapy has really changed my life, so I recommend it. No CD therapy is covered by insurance for over 155 million Americans. If you think you or someone you know might be struggling with OCD, please don't wait to get help. Go to NoCD and book a free call with their team to learn more. That's nocd.com to schedule a free call and learn more. Is it right? Sorry. Welcome to our podcast. It's a medical show where we diagnose each other with no real medical expertise necessary. Is it like here?
Yeah!
That's your hip flexor, dude. I think you gotta stretch that out because if you're laying down, you don't have the room to like contract it. So it's probably really tight.
Okay, Dr. Christine over here.
I mean, listen, I told you this is my new medical show, Dr. Christine. I'm just kidding. Please don't. I think someone can probably sue me for that. And it's probably warranted. So allegedly,
But it's also
your
a
hip
little
flexor.
up in my tummy. It's like it's like under the belly. It's like in my pelvic area.
Yeah, that's probably your hip flexor or your psoas muscle.
Fuck, what do you do in the middle of the night? Why do you know that?
Honestly, thank you so much for asking. I was up till 3 a.m. last night, and I was looking up all these different acupressure points for falling asleep, and it wasn't working.
Well
Obviously.
done, psycho.
But yeah,
It
I've done a
worked.
lot. I've done a lot of somatic work, trauma release exercises, that kind of thing. And
Mhm.
the hips carry a lot of trauma and carry a lot of tension and stress. And so when they start acting up, you can kind of pinpoint what's
I do carry all my
happening.
my stress in my butt. Fun fact.
Okay, that's interesting.
She's
So yeah,
always a little tense. She's always tight. You
I
know.
would say stretch your hip flexor because I feel like, or at least stretch it and see if that's where it hurts, and then you'll know
Mm.
like if that's the thing. Or no, I just sorry, my back is so dude. This is why I'm doing these things all the time because I'm like everything hurts. I need to like figure out how to fix myself.
What are you doing? What's
I
why
was
is
just
your back hurt?
stretching.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I'm just old, I think,
Okay.
and I carry a 4-year-old all the time, and it's like
Does
I
she
don't know.
actually want to be carried these days? I feel like she's just on the
Yeah.
go.
No, the second they start to walk, they're like, "No, I want to walk," and then they're like, "Walking is a lot of work. Can you carry me?" Like
After
they
6
literally
months, they're
become
like, the
adult.
allure is the magic's over.
Right? It's not exciting anymore. And they're like, "Can you carry me?" And it's like, so I can like look at my toy while you carry me and I don't have to do any physical activity or look where I'm going. And it's like,
It's
I mean, I get it. I would ask to be carried too.
it's interesting that that feeling starts so young because it never
Yes.
ends. Like I still would love to be carried instead of have to walk.
She does move a lot. I think it's just very when it's like time for bed, she's like, "Carry me upstairs." And I'm like, "Okay." But then, anywhere else, she's like, "Let me just zoom around at lightning speed and knock over everything and everyone I can." So it really
Okay.
goes between two sides of the spectrum. Yeah.
Weirdly, her and Hank are in the same place.
Oh yeah. What is his take on being carried? I assume he does not like it.
He doesn't mind it. I mean, he doesn't want it, but like if I have to carry him, he never fights me on it.
Yeah, Gio goes like this. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't squirm, but he goes like
he kind
like
of
he's
just
freaked out.
does like goes catatonic. Like
Yeah, they like freeze, right? Like
yeah.
they're like
I think
yeah.
he knows if I'm picking him up, like there's a real reason
Something's
for it.
occurring. He's gonna be
Yeah.
placed somewhere.
But
Um,
I meant more like he's what'd you say? You said something about how she's just like kind of just runs into everyone or runs
oh
into
yes,
everything.
very like hyper speed, like
Yeah, I like to say at the dog park that
Tasmanian devil.
he's exactly exactly knee height.
That's a dangerous dangerous height. Leona's just getting to exact counter height. And I'm like,
Fun.
God, here we go. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
she
They're
bonking her
always
head on everything?
she's been bonking her head, her 99th percentile circumference head on everything since the moment she entered my womb.
Perfect.
Yeah. Where is Hankers? Oh, you're not in your home, are you? Because
No,
I was gonna say, what a beautiful beige piece of art you have.
thank you. I think we made fun of the art last time I was
I
in
love
here.
to talk about hotel art.
I
It
know.
makes me laugh every
Well,
time.
how does this one make you feel?
Um,
Not good? Me
it
either.
looks like the back rooms a little bit.
It does I don't know why
Not
people
the
think
hotel, but the
beige.
picture. Yeah.
I get there like, "Oh, it's warm. It's a warm temperature color." And I'm like, "But
Yeah.
it's also."
What is warm? What do you mean warm? Like warm like to my soul? Because that doesn't feel right.
It's
It
like I
doesn't feel
think
warm to my soul. It just feels
like it just feels
brown.
obviously like it just feels dirty. Like it's so yellow it becomes brown and then it's just
Yeah. And then that gets
dull.
kind of grungy and dingy and it's like yeah.
Anyway, the painting is boring. Yes, I'm in a hotel and I will be home later.
Yay. Hooray.
And Hank is he's good. He's just chilling. He got a scratch on his nose at boarding and I want to
Hmm.
beat up whatever puppy hurt my puppy and I was like, "Who did this
Hmm.
to you? You give me his name." And Hank wouldn't snitch, which I guess I can respect.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
anyway.
means he's got some real like partnerships in there though.
Yeah, or someone's
Some
threatening him. I don't like that. So anyway,
fair
if
enough.
your puppy came home and said that he scratched a puppy in Burbank, you give me his name and we're
Maybe
gonna
it was an
tussle.
accident.
I don't know. And I don't care. Anyway, so yeah, I was just in Texas, which that's the reason I drank this week is that I got to have it was quite an honor. There
It's like a whirlwind romance you had for a day or two.
I did. It was in total I think it was like half a day of traveling and then I spent a day there, which was nice.
Yeah.
Um but I was just there super quick. Two listeners named Trace and Cynthia, they are in the theater world and they're very big in Austin, Texas. They're very successful. Like I just watched them on Instagram last night win like a bunch of awards for a different play that they put together. Um and I guess
What's their studio? Do they have like like
I want
a
to double check, but I think it's called Bottle Alley. Let me double check. I don't think I think they work through this theater company. I don't know if it's their theater company, but they work with the Bottle Alley Theater Company in Austin.
Oh, okay.
And their names were Trace and Cynthia, and they listened to forever ago I think it was a 3-parter or a 2-parter for Harry Houdini.
That was a like a classic episode.
It's still to this day one of my favorite stories I've covered, and it's one of like my favorite fascinations to tell people about still. But I guess they listened to that, and in it, I guess it was around when Hamilton came out, and I was like, this needs to be a Hamilton kind of play. This needs to be a play. And they literally turned it into a play. And so
That's just amazing.
it's so
It's
cool.
amazing.
So they reached out, and I was able to fly into Austin for their last showing of it, which was great.
That's
And
so fun.
I wanted to tell you, it was so cool because all I knew is that there was a play about Houdini. I didn't know anything else. I assumed it was when I heard inspired by my episode, I assumed it was the episode from beginning to end for some reason. I just thought it was like they were going to cover what I covered. But they actually theirs was about 10 years after Houdini died and everyone getting together to do the final séance
Yes.
of
My
him.
favorite part of the story.
And what was so interesting about it is I thought this was going to be I'm going into a local theater and sitting in an audience and watching people on stage, but it was like one of those live interactive theaters. And so they rented out like this historic landmark in Austin. It was this old spooky Victorian manor. In every room, there were different people playing different parts. And you got to see, you could walk through the house, but you could see everything that was happening the night
Oh,
of. And
cool.
so you could go into like this one room where they were doing a seance and one room where his Harry Houdini's protege was doing magic tricks, and you could go into this other area, and in some way each of their storylines all end up kind of merging into you going to everyone walking into the carriage house and watching them do the full seance together, and it was very, very cool.
That is not what I expected. That
No,
sounds
it's so much cooler than I
kick
thought.
ass. Yeah.
And so it was very nice. I met everybody. It was like an insanely talented cast. everybody was so nice and a weird. I think every single person in that theater company listens to us
They
because
were those photos you posted were so sweet, and I was like, "This is, like, just such a charming group of people." I don't know them, but they seem lovely.
every single person was so like
Oh,
like obscenely kind. Like it was like just so
aw.
they were so wonderful. Um
Obscenely
I
kind. You
don't
should put that on your brochures for next
we
time.
are obscenely
Trace and
kind.
Cynthia.
Please come to our
No, not
place.
even we are obscene, just, like, quote, "Obscenely kind podcaster," M.
No,
Schultz.
they were just so wonderful. And then we all went out to a bar afterwards, and I ended up becoming like Instagram friends with all of them and all that. But
Oh,
they put out like such great stuff. As soon as they wrapped this one, I was there for the closing night. They had awards for like the next 2 days to go to, and they won awards at both of them. And then now they're I think writing something else, or all the cast that I now follow on Instagram, they're already rehearsing for other shows. So
so yeah, let's fucking follow the train, man. How exciting.
yeah, so if you see anything from
Let me what
Bottle
a d
Alley Theater Company, please go. If you live in Austin, go see their
cool.
shows. And
I
especially
just
if it's
love to
written by
find
Trace or Cynthia, they
Yeah, yeah.
it was just a very great experience. I'm so glad I went because it was very impulsive. Like we found out like I think a week or two
Yeah, they
before.
were like, "This is a long shot," and Em was like, "I'll be there."
They did tell me because we all went out afterwards and they were like, yeah, we were just like at a bar and I was just like, fuck it, wouldn't it be
Yeah, yeah.
crazy if they
Honestly,
came?
this is your sign if you're out there and you're like, "I don't know, they would never just fucking try it. Who
Just
knows?
try
People
it.
like us exist and we're fucking nuts." Like, I was like, if I didn't have, like, a kid and a plan to travel, I probably would have showed up too. I don't
Free
know.
will is a
Like,
crazy thing when you use
it
it right.
is. And then
Yeah.
when you're a Gemini and you're like, "What can I do today?" And it's like someone hands you on a silver platter,
Yeah. And
like, "Why don't you fly to Austin for a day?" It's like, "Well, I can't not," you know?
it turned into like a great day. It was like honestly one of the best days I've had in a really long time. Was like I just everything planned out very well. Like I did my classic waking up way too fucking early, which is so out of character, but I got a lot done in 24 hours and it was very nice. And I was telling them, I
Where
don't
did you
know.
stay? Haunted hotel?
No, I stayed at a hotel that was closest to the airport so that way I could get the most done.
Mm. Mhm.
Um
Makes sense, makes sense.
but
What was the art like there? Was it warm and brown?
honestly, the art was about this level.
Okay. Yeah,
It
that feels airport hotel to me.
I
Yeah.
didn't stick around to look at the art, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
left very quickly, and maybe the art was responsible for that.
I guess you had other things to do in the city of Austin, Texas than sit in the hotel at the airport. Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if they will do this, but I was very, demanding by the end of the night that they try to shoot for this being a regular, like, you know how every Halloween, it's like, best things to do for the Halloween season in this city.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I was like, "You have to bring this back next year, and you have to keep
Yes.
doing it." So, if for some reason next year, as we're speaking, it's 2025. If you see this during a Halloween season in the future, and you see the last seance of Harry Houdini as an event, you have to go. It was very cool. And
Yes.
there was a whole bar area where they like were making little like themed drinks, and
Ah,
it was very wonderful.
how
It
fun is
was, and
that?
everyone was so nice. So
Austin's cool too.
everyone wanted me to tell you hello. So hello.
Oh, hello! Oh, I'm so honored. I just loved, living vicariously, and it was, so nice to not go somewhere and be social, but to, like, feel like on behalf like, I was, like, there in spirit. It felt like, "Oh, Em will handle
I
the
handled it.
socializing on my behalf,"
You
which
know, I
happens a lot.
I love to hold court. Oh, and also, this is the last thing I'll say about it,
Yes, you
but,
do.
some people who have been, like, listeners forever, ever, I don't know how they knew people through this theater company, but they also bought tickets to this somehow knowing I was gonna be there.
Yeah.
Um, and so I got to meet, people who I recognized their usernames because
No.
they've been around that
That
long, and
that's
so
a s yeah, that's a commitment.
like, people who used to send us, like, some of, like, the OG, fan mail and,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
follow
yeah.
our, like, early Patreon live streams and stuff, I think. So,
Yeah.
anyway, thank you to everybody. It
Wow.
was a wonderful ego boost, and, it was a great, great show. It was super cool to see.
Oh,
So,
I'm so happy.
other than that, the reason I drink is I found a new empanada lady, and
Where? Burbank?
she goes to my dog park,
Oh.
and then the not so good reason why I drink is because my hip hurts, which we've discussed already. So,
Well, I've handled that for you, so
thank you. Why do you
you go
drink?
stretch your hip flexor. So I'm actually being boring today. I'm just drinking a sparkling water.
Mm.
This looks like the most generic, like, Aldi brand something
It does,
ever.
yeah.
Oh, it's German. That makes sense. Um,
They're like, "We're not here for
so
the flair. You're gonna like what's going on the
please, yeah,
inside."
sit
Yeah.
down and drink. Um, and so I'm drinking that, but the reason I drink, which is kind of similar to yours in a way, but not, I was at the bookstore in my neighborhood where I feel like I've made so many cool connections with people who are familiar with the podcast or who have seen the book and then
Mhm.
like our book. And then the guy who is the manager there, I chatted with him the other day and he's like, "Oh, we always make sure to keep like a copy of your book up." And
Aw.
I know, it was really, really sweet, and, so Leona and I went a few days ago, and we're sitting in the back, and she's eating her chocolate babka, and, or as he always says, "It's pronounced babka," and I'm like, "Okay, chocolate babka," and we're in the back eating it, and, Leona goes, "Look, mommy," and they have both of our books on the local authors, wall, and I was like,
That's
"Oh
so
my god,
cool.
my dream come true, local authors." So I'm in, like, the Kentucky section, I was, like, so geeking out. We're sitting there, I swear to God, a few minutes later, these 2 women come in, they're, like, kind of, like, classic, like, yoga pants, young moms, like, clearly just, like, out doing stuff and getting shit done, and they're sitting there and they're talking about plans and stuff, and then all of a sudden, one of them stands up and goes, "Oh, this'll help," and they pull down our book, and I'm like, "I've never seen this happen in my life."
Oh
Like,
my god.
somebody in the
I've
wild,
never
like,
seen that.
I was like, I have to leave," but I sat down and I was like, "Just see what happens," and she starts flipping through the books and she goes or through our book and she goes, "Okay, okay, here, write this one down," and they literally, started planning a road trip,
Shut up.
and I'm sitting there going, "This can't be happening," and
Did
she
you say
sits there
something?
I was so, like, no, I just was sat there, like,
I
stunned.
I don't think I would have said anything either. I would have just been like, like locked the fuck in, like just
I was
mesmerized.
locked in, and I said, "Leona, look, Leona," and she,
She
like,
doesn't
turns
give a
around.
shit, does she?
No, she was like, "That's your book," and I was like, "I know," and I was like, "I don't think they know
Say it louder,
I know,
Leona.
right?" I was like, "I don't think they know I wrote it," and she's like, "Oh, that's too bad," and I was like, "Okay, if maybe it wasn't meant to be," but,
Humbled so fast.
I know, I was like but it was just crazy, and and then, oh, then they go to the back flap and start reading.
Oh, and they see your face.
So, fortunately for me, my presentation in the local coffee shop at 8:30 in the morning is a little bit different than the photo we took 6 years ago in which my pre-child, spray tanned, short romper and heels, like, definitely a different vibe, and so I was like, "There's no way in hell they're gonna recognize me." They did not, but they start reading, they go, "And that's why this is a podcast." The other one goes, "It's a podcast?" And then they're like, "Okay, write that down. We can listen to it on the way." And I was like, "This is a crazy," and I was gonna say something then, but then and also they were a little intimidating because, like I said, they were those kinda like yoga mom types where I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I feel like already kind of on the outs." And then I was like, "Oh god, what if I walk up and I'm like, 'That's my book?'" And they were like, "Okay." I don't
Oh
know.
my
I just
god.
felt really weird about it, but I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna enjoy this moment." And the fact that and then they went to one of your sections or, one of your stories, and they said something like, "Oh my god, did you know he was a doctor before he killed those people or
Get
before the
out.
hospital?" And she goes, "He was? Like, I thought I knew everything about the story." And I was like, "This is crazy!"
Wow. Oh my god. I to be
Also
a
part of
fly
me
on the
was worried they
wall.
were gonna be like, "Oh, this is terrible, and it sucks, and these people are idiots." So I
You
was like, "I'm just gonna let them have their opinion and leave it alone."
that's and you know what? I mean, that's so stinking cool. That's so
I am.
stinking
It was
cool.
like I, like, literally took a picture. I was taking a picture of Leona, but I just zoomed in to, like
Yeah, right, right,
I
right.
was like, I need to prove to myself later that they were actually holding our book and, like, reading the "About Us" section, and I was like, "This is mortifying."
I've never even I it's wild to me that people read the about section because I don't do that. So, um, it's weird that someone was curious about, like, who we actually are. If
Yeah,
only it said local author,
I know. I mean,
well,
it
I guess
does
it was in the
say
local author section, right?
oh, it was in the local house section, and at one point, Leona, like, ran to the other room, and I went, "Leona!" And then it occurred to me, like, "Oh, shit," in that, like, in the acknowledgments I write, like, "To Leona," whatever, so I'm like, if they really were,
If they were
more aware,
listening, if
if
they
they were
gave a
actually
shit.
listening to me, then maybe they would have figured it out.
Oh my god,
Anyway, so
that's
I thought
so
you'd
neat.
appreciate that too, because it was just like one of those wild, like, I can't believe this is actually happening and I'm witnessing it. Because I only go to that coffee shop like every other week, one time. So I'm like, it's not like I'm always there. It was just a
That's
very bizarre
still
moment.
so cool. Well, I
And then she
just
didn't buy the book, by the way. She put it
uh,
back. And I went,
well,
I've clocked you, lady.
If they took a picture of anything as inspiration, I'll take that. I was
They were
like,
taking notes. The one woman was writing everything down. They're like, "We could stop here." I mean, it was so cool.
I mean, in this economy, just take pictures of the book.
Seriously, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
expect you
fine.
to literally buy the book. I'm
Um,
totally kidding.
but, piggybacking, when I was
Mhm.
in Austin, I was hanging out with one of my friends, Selena, and she's like, "Oh, let's go to this bookstore. I think I'll really like it." And it was a bookstore we had a book signing at. And I was like, and it was the one, you'll remember this one. It was the one
Yeah,
that was
what
like
was the
3
name of it?
floors. And
Oh, I still have a ton of shit. Didn't we buy those those inflatable
yes,
tiaras? Okay.
literally we stopped at the Tiara section again.
That we each bought them one. I bought one for my stepmom, you bought one for your mom. I think if I'm guessing, it was a hit with your mom because my
It
stepmother
was a hit.
lost her damn mind, wore it the entire night, wore it to her next Christmas event and told everyone like, "This is my tiara."
The only
So,
reason my mom doesn't wear the inflatable tiara is because she has 2
oh
actual
yeah.
jeweled
Oh,
tiaras.
so does Ellen. So does Ellen. And the
But
reason it
this
was
is her travel one. Yeah.
and this was why it was a fun joke is because she gave me one of her tiaras before my wedding. And then
Mm.
I was like, I'm not wearing this at my wedding. It was the day before my wedding. And I'm like, I already have my hair. I'm not wearing a tiara. And so she's like, just take it in case you change your mind. Then, like 2 weeks later, she was like, why have you not given me my tiara? And I was like, I thought you
Oh,
gave that to me. And she's like, no, it's mine.
was
And
it
so
the
I had,
something borrowed?
I guess so. And I was like, well, I guess if I didn't wear it, I don't get to own it anymore. So I gave it back to her. And so then when I
Hmm,
gave her the inflatable one, it was kind of like a haha. Here's another tiara for
nailed
you.
it.
Who the fuck has the fact that your mother and my stepmother both have real jeweled tiaras is crazy.
And then we gifted one to my grandma for her 90th. I don't know
Oh,
why everyone in
she
this fucking
now.
family, everyone
Oh, a
but me
real
has a
tiara?
tiara. A real one, I think.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant like gifted her an inflatable one. I was like, that's
No,
fun.
I
No,
don't.
she a
I
90th birthday, she deserves a real tiara.
She does. She deserves whatever she fucking wants at 90. Yeah, if
That's
it happens.
right.
Anyway, sorry for the glare on my glasses. It's kind of stressing me out, but
No, it
whatever.
actually kind of matches the painting behind you. Those weird like bars of light. It just kind of looks like
I know it's like a anyway. No, I don't have a tiara. I don't want one, Mom. I feel like she's gonna hear this episode and she's like, "Oh, now I know what to
actually
get
I was
you."
gonna say M doesn't want one, listeners, because now I feel like we're gonna get all sorts of
Yeah,
weird.
I'm good. I like my baseball hats. I got one right here. It's my. I don't. I'm good. I got things for my head. Now a DeLorean. If you
Now
would like.
that is where we can begin the conversation.
Well, I only say that because it is November 5th, which is the anniversary of when Doc Brown discovered
Uh,
time travel. And by the way, it's the 40th anniversary. And tonight, the other reason I drink is because they're playing it for one night only in the theaters again tonight. So be
oh,
excited.
well, I have something to say which I forgot until you mentioned the date. Today is Gio's 10th birthday.
Shut the fuck up.
And
No, it's not.
I really cannot believe that I keep slipping my mind because my brain can't
That can't be
accept
true.
it.
No, 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 because that's not true.
Oh,
It,
okay. Is it his ninth?
well, I went to his first birthday in 2018.
No, that was
17?
2017.
So he's 8. What? He's not 10. I certainly will fight to the death that he's not 10.
Okay, all right. All right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
But maybe I'm wrong. I'm just in denial.
I think I just am a bad pet parent and I forget the year that he was born because it feels like so long ago.
We only started being friends
Yeah.
2017, right? No, the
Yeah. So,
podcast
but no,
started.
we started the podcast.
So we started 2016.
Yeah.
We became friends October 30th,
Yeah.
2016.
His birthday is November, so you probably went to his
So it was a month into our friendship. That
first
tells.
birthday. So that means that this is his 10th birthday.
Wow. Oh my god. So he deserves a tiara. He's fucking 70 in
He
human
has a
years.
tiara. He has like 4 tiaras.
What are you gonna do for little
He's
Gigi
my
for his
special
B-Day?
boy. Oh my God. Well, it's a beautiful day. It's like 65 degrees out. Gorgeous. We're probably going to take him out on the town.
What are his give everyone an update on Gigi? What are his favorite things to do these days?
Oh my gosh. He loves to eat cat shit and he loves to steal Leona's socks and place them in really inconvenient places throughout the house. He loves socks, like still, and it's mostly Leona's socks because they're everywhere, and he will like hide them in our bed. And he's just a very good boy, and I love him. And he
He's
and
sweetie
Leona are always
man.
like, she's always like, Gio, because he'll like try to eat a French fry out of her hand, and like, Mom, Gio's trying to eat my French fries, and I'm like, kids,
I
Get
love that.
along,
I
please.
love
Yeah,
that they love each other. They're so sweet.
they do, and they annoy the hell out of each other. So they are kind of like siblings. But it's really sweet, and he loves all his little brothers and his little baby, and he's just a very good, happy, healthy boy.
Good.
So
Yeah. Does he have any doctor's appointments coming up to guarantee he is perfectly a wonderful, healthy, happy boy?
yeah, he got his allergy shot, so he should be set on that front.
Nice.
He got all his vaccines, and he's getting a lot of exercise, and he's eating that good healthy food that I we did an ad for, and then I convinced myself into buying it, and I love it. And he's happy. Yeah, he's a good boy.
He's a good man. And he still
Yay!
naps, right? He still naps?
He's right here napping.
Oh,
Do
happy
like a
birthday to you.
How do I even
Happy
turn this thing?
happy birthday to you.
Ah!
Oh, happy birthday, little Gigi. Handsome baby boy
Hello.
Gio.
Clearly, I don't know how to use my camera.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, Mr. Happy
Bub.
Man.
Gio.
Gigi.
Hi, bud. Happy
Hi.
birthday.
He doesn't look
Did
a
you know it's
day
your
over
birthday?
5.
He's my puppy dog.
He doesn't even look 10.
I'm sorry that was not my reason I drink. It just like.
What the hell's good? We got a real great tour of your laptop, though.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. Wasn't the plan, I swear. Okay, yeah. He just needed a little shout out, but yeah, he's a very good boy. 10. You really got my hopes up for a minute. I went, phew.
I was
'Cause
convinced there's no way.
Chewy sent a card saying it's your 10th birthday, and I went, how dare you? And then I was like, oh my god, they would know, I guess, because I must have signed him up years ago. So
Well,
I was
no,
like,
I for some reason thought that the podcast was 2018, which make us 2017, so he would be 2 years younger.
yeah, unfortunately, I've been trying to find a way to say anything but 10, but yeah, that's it. But I can't believe he's 10. That means in February it'll be his gotcha day, and
So-
I'll have had him 10 years.
You got to have a big day with him. You got to let him have
yeah.
some PB and,
Oh, yeah.
you
And
know.
it's like right around Valentine's Day, so it'll be very romantic.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear
You
about
and
it.
Hank probably have very similar activities when it
We-
comes to snuggling and sharing snacks.
I did teach him the word snuggle. That's very nice. And he recently got all of his shots, but he got them all at once. And I guess he has the same thing that I have. So it's genetic, which is that after too many vaccines, you get like swollen lymph nodes.
Oh, yeah.
And it freaked me out because I gave him a little tushy scratch, and all of a sudden he had a big ass cyst on his leg. And I was like, how does it start this early? Oh my God, he's fucking
Yeah.
1. I was like, how is there? So I had a
That's scary.
full crash out thinking it was like something worse. And then I had to call the vet, and they were like, he just had vaccines. He's fine.
He's just feeling a little owie after his shots. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
This dog is now like, what the hell do you want, lady? He's like, why did you wake me up? Now he feels like there's something.
Oh, let me see the sweetie man's. Oh my goodness, a nice chest shot of his furries. Hi, handsome man. Oh, hi, Mimi's. Oh, that's the happy boy. That's my first love right there. He's my sweetie boy. I loved him before I loved Allison. Oh, look at his little tushy. You really did zoom in just kind of to brag about how great his hair is. Oh my God. And now the monster herself. We get it. You have a tight jawline. We get it, Christine. No, you don't.
Bad makeup abilities.
No, you look great.
Anyway, okay. So that's that. Wow, what an intro, but we had a lot to catch up on.
I know. Well, I haven't talked to you in a long time. People think that we see each other every week, but sometimes it stacks
Em's
up.
always in like Texas,
Well, I do.
Florida.
And I will state again publicly, just because I think in my head I say it out loud, but then I don't. But I can bring a microphone anywhere. So anytime.
Right.
But because I did think about it. I was like, maybe I just stay longer. But honestly, the only reason I came back is because it's fucking dog, and it's expensive to put them somewhere else. So if
And
only
you miss him.
that too. And if only I had a partner who could be home and take care of him while I'm gone.
Yeah. Is Allison still
Girl.
on the run?
Ask a question that you want an answer to. That is not gonna sound super depressing.
Okay.
She is still not home, but that is okay. We how much do I want to say? I not I'm making it sound a lot worse than I am. I'm trying to think of behind the scenes stuff that's going on. We are totally fine, but given the state of the world, we are, a little scared about you know, how everything's playing out. And so we have looked at contingency plans to maybe live elsewhere. And that's not
Mm.
super duper on the radar or anything, but we have thought of it as a potentially serious hypothetical. And so the way that we have framed her being gone this whole time is like, let's just take advantage of getting to you seeing your family a lot, and
Mhm.
just in the event that we decide we gotta pull a plug and get out of here.
Like, get
Which
out of LA?
no, like
Oh.
get out. Like
The
me.
Earth or just the country? I'm like, "How far are we talking, baby? I don't know how much to intervene here or whether."
No, honestly, we haven't figured out a super duper plan yet. Not that there's even actually a plan that's in effect at all, but we are just trying to come up with plan Bs and Cs and Ds if things are getting worse and worse for marginalized people. And I know queer people are on that list. And so we've just been having talks about what ifs. And
Mhm,
in
mhm.
the event that one of those what ifs becomes an actual reality, I think Allison's going to be really grateful that she spent so much time with her family.
Yeah.
Just um so the goal obviously would be my true homeland, Canada. That's obviously the goal.
Your true
Um,
homeland.
which would actually work out a lot better because if we went to Canada, I would like to think we would just move to like essentially the East Coast, and then we would be
Right,
back
right,
on the
right.
same coast together. Um, but
Halifax is cool.
that's another secret, not so secret update is that, we're just planning to have to plan in case there's something we have to plan for. So,
Mm.
and so as much as I have not liked Allison being away, I have really fucking loved this like moment of being independent and like getting to do whatever I want at whatever time I want. Not that Allison's super controlling, but we live in a small space and we have completely different sleep cycles. So there are times where I have to be quieter or, she likes things cleaner. And so I've really loved this like kind of like almost bachelor year, which is great.
Mhm, mhm,
And she's enjoyed a lot of time with her family, and I have learned a lot about living by myself and taking care of another living creature.
mhm.
So anyway, I'm not trying to like throw this like, big bomb on anyone, but there's just stuff behind the scenes, and so
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's like things are happening rapidly in the world, in our lives. Like things move. I feel like things are starting to move at such a rapid pace in everyone's orbit right now. Like
yeah,
I don't even know in a month where everybody will be standing, what we'll be
yeah.
planning or doing. Like it just feels like things are so up in the air.
Well, Allison and I, the day that that guy became president again,
Uh-huh.
um, we came up with a list of non-negotiables, and if any of those things happened, then we would leave. And it just every day feels like we get closer and closer to that
Have you looked?
list.
Because I've like looked into it, and it's like very, very difficult to get
Yes, we
any sort
actually
of.
have very low qualifications to get in.
Yeah.
And Allison has done obviously a lot of the type A research on all this, and I'm very grateful for her on that. But we have a list of places we're looking at, but Canada is the dream place because it doesn't feel like we're moving too far, that too
Hmm.
much would change. But Canada doesn't want us, it seems like. So
Right, right, right. Well, they've definitely had to put up some big like
mhm.
signs, like, "Hey, slow your roll.
I know.
We get it." But
So anyway, it's not nothing's set in stone or set in anything. It's just like amongst the talks, we're just like, well, let's think of you being gone this whole time as like a potential perk in the event that something happens. So,
hmm.
um, anyway, didn't mean to like throw that on everyone too, but
No, listen, I was curious. I
the
was
world is
curious.
scary.
It is. That's
Yeah,
why we drink.
and that's why we drink. And of course, if something were to happen, there will be updates along the way. But because it's so not a reality yet,
Nebulous.
it hasn't even been. You know, everyone will know because I won't be able to shut up about it if something actually happens. So
Right, 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 right.
anyway, story time. I think you're really gonna like this one, Christine.
Ah, okay. So I was in a little bit of a pickle where I bought this really pretty dress for my friend's wedding next week, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need some sort of like shapewear to like make it sit right on my body." And then I had this epiphany. Oh my gosh, I forgot Honey Love is a sponsor, and when I ordered from them, they sent me like this awesome shapewear, and I was like, "Wait a minute." So I
Ooh.
tried it on with the dress, and I was like, Hell yeah, brother, as Em
Hell
likes to
yeah,
say.
brother.
And that's important. If like an outfit, you got to start with the right foundation. Okay, so Honey Love bras and shapewear give you comfort and confidence, whether you're sparkling at a holiday party, you're at a wedding in Hawaii like I am, or just in cozy sweaters. It's comfy and it does the trick.
Yeah, gift Honey Love to yourself or to someone you love because nothing says holiday spirit like support, comfort, and confidence.
Hmm.
And undie bundles too make the perfect stocking stuffer. Love an undie
Ooh,
bundle. Can't
they're
wait to give them to
so
everyone.
cozy.
Everyone I know, and everyone can go, what? And I'm gonna go trust the process.
Trust it. Trust the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Treat
Mm-hmm.
yourself or someone you love to Honey Love this holiday season. And right now you can save 20% at honeylove.com/drink. Just use our exclusive link, honeylove.com/drink to grab your discount.
After you order, they'll ask where you heard about Honey Love, so please support our show and let them know we sent you. Celebrate the season feeling confident and comfortable with Honey Love.
I'm just in bed all day, all the time. I work there, I write there, I sleep there, I eat there. It's pretty bad, but I have a Helix mattress, and so it's extremely comfortable. And I am trying to spread out where I do my activities, but I will say that Helix mattress always calls me home. You know,
Well, you just do like one at like the bottom left corner, one at the top right
right
corner,
there. See,
one right in the center, and then I think you sleep at the top. I don't know actually, but
yeah, I can make use of it. It's fine.
it's a little bit of everything. But the point is that with Helix mattress, you never want to leave your bed. I
Hmm.
am currently in a hotel. I have been traveling around doing this and that, and I have been away from a Helix mattress, and my back can tell.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
I'm not loving it. I really want to get back to Helix mattress, my dog. Helix mattress, my dog. I'll never know. I don't know. They're both important to me in the same way. I want to snuggle both of them.
Free shipping and seamless delivery offered by Helix. They deliver your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US, and they have a happy with Helix guarantee with seamless returns and exchanges so you can rest easy. Go to helixsleep.com/drink for 27% off site wide, exclusive for listeners of And That's Why We Drink.
That's helixsleep.com/drink for 27% off site wide, exclusive for listeners of And That's Why We Drink. Helixsleep.com/drink. Okay, this is remind me of the place you got married.
In
If you
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
The Transept
Fuck. I thought this was never mind. Wrong building.
Monastery
Shit.
Event Center. Which one is it?
This is the
Music
Cincinnati
Hall?
Music Hall.
Yeah, that's next door. And no, it is basically the same because it's like next door and it's we took pictures in front of it and it's like a huge deal in this in Cincinnati. So I am fucking amped.
I'm
Okay.
glad, but I really thought this was the place you got married because I remember you
Well, that
saying all
place
the
is
way.
more of an event hall, like sort of next to the music hall.
Well,
You know,
anyway, I thought you were super duper gonna like this one, but you'll just super like it.
I do super duper like it because I have seen things that I saw.
What have you
I saw
seen?
Lore. I saw Lore, the podcast.
Oh,
Oh, I mean, like I've seen shows there.
and then you
I've
said,
seen shows.
I thought you bet you'd seen something paranormal. Oh, and you went away.
Sorry.
I thought you said you'd seen something, and I thought you meant spooky. And then you said I saw lore, and I went, what kind of fucking lore?
Oh my god.
Okay, well,
The
understood.
the suspense. No, I saw Aaron Mahnke perform there on Halloween a couple years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot.
Well, it is incredibly super haunted, which I don't think I need to
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
Um,
I only know a
okay.
couple stories and they're kind of passed down, so I don't really know what's true and what's not.
Well, let's see together because again, these were notes I did a few days ago. It was when we were supposed to record originally. So
Right.
this is going to be one of those moments where we learn along the way together. So this is in Cincinnati, if you can believe it, the Cincinnati Music Hall. And
Yay.
it is a music hall. Those are the two first notes I had,
Do
the
you remember
audacity to write down.
we did a ghost hunting tour when I was pregnant, and when we were at that Potter's Field and we were like
Mhm.
walking around with those, that was like in the park in front of in front of Music Hall. So that, yeah.
Funny
So
you
you've
say
been
that.
in front of it.
Funny you say that.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I was gonna say that they host a lot of ghost tours there, or
Yeah.
it's a part of a lot of ghost tours in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And oh yeah, so okay, so here we go. The Cincinnati Music Hall, it is a music hall event space, does both performances and exhibitions. It is a national landmark since 1975. It hosts the Cincinnati Ballet, Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, the Cincinnati Opera, the May Festival Chorus, and the Cincinnati Pops Orchestra.
Mm.
But before all that, it was a Potter's Field, as
Right.
you just
Okay.
mentioned, or a mass a set of graves for unclaimed bodies.
Mhm.
I love that you brought that up.
I am too, I was like, it just popped in my head.
I was like, well, okay, can confirm that that research was true. Sick.
Yay!
And here we go. In 1818, those are the earliest. That's the earliest year we can find that makes mention of these Potter's Fields. Although it could be older, but we know at least since 1818 there's been a Potter's Field there. Fun fact: Cincinnati. Do you know when it was established, Christine? You don't have to know. Let's look. I don't know when Fredericksburg was established.
1810? I don't know.
1788.
I was gonna say 1788, then I was like, maybe that's Ohio.
Well,
Anyway.
established in 1788, and this Potter's Field is from 1818. So only like 30 years into Cincinnati existing,
And
this.
they're like, "Oops, everyone's dead. What do we do? I guess we put them right here." I mean, oy.
Well, just think of like, I mean, imagine 30 years. That's how long we've. So if our birth was Cincinnati being established, and today is when this Potter's Field was created, that's not a long time. It's like some of the earliest people who
Right.
died in this town
It's
are
like the
buried there.
first residents. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the earliest bodies are buried in this Potter's Fields, and some of these earliest bodies would have been victims of, which I don't mean to be like quizzing you here, but do you know some of the earliest
Oh,
disasters of your town?
I'm guessing yellow fever or
Close. I
to
don't know, maybe they're the same one. Cholera.
cholera. That yeah, I was thinking cholera. Yeah, the
So
water.
of all these bodies in the Potter's Field, a lot of them are victims of these cholera outbreaks. There was two of them.
Hmm.
And then the Cincinnati floods. I guess there were some really
Mm,
gnarly floods over there. And the Moselle explosion. Do you know about this?
I have no idea what that is.
Cool. So the cholera alone, let's talk about that for a second. In the first round of cholera, which was early on in Cincinnati's history, 2% of the population died in the first outbreak,
Jeez,
which doesn't sound like, I guess, a lot to some, but it is a lot.
it's like a small percentage, but then if you think like, oh, it's a percentage of a town. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, if you know 100 people, two are dead now from cholera.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, in the second outbreak, 5,000 people died. So
Ooh.
it
Okay.
more than doubled. And poor people were the most affected, I guess because they lived by the water, and water was spread the
Yeah, the
cholera.
water was not clean. Dirty drinking water caused cholera. We also had a lot of pork production, and it wasn't
Mm.
sanitary the way it was handled, and things were just kind of dumped into the water. Remember that the Bobby Mackey's where the went into the it was a slaughterhouse and went to the Licking River, and they would just dump it in the Licking River,
Mhm.
and so yeah, it was like uh, not clean. And which is funny because now, of course, you think like, oh, waterfront property is like the most expensive, but back then it was like the poorest people lived up
When
by the water.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because it was my favorite fun fact when I was a Segway tour guide, because it was in a area that now it's in Yorktown, Virginia, which if you have a waterfront view, it's like a very shishi situation.
Right, right.
But lobster used to be
Oh yeah,
like a disgusting food, and it was like for only poor people would eat lobster because they live by the water and
it
it's
was
all they can
prison food.
find. But now it's like, I have lobster. Like it's funny how it's switched where if you live by the
Society
water,
is so nutty. Yeah,
you're like
yeah.
you were poor and now it means you're
It's
super rich. And if
all
you live in the
relative.
city, you're poor, but back then it meant you were rich.
They would call lobsters like cockroaches of the sea because they had all
Hmm.
those like little things, and they'd be like, "Yeah, these are only for like prisoners to eat,"
And as
which
a
is just
lobster hater,
crazy.
they should have never changed their stance. It's
Yeah, you're like, they were right the first time.
same with shrimp, everything. They all got those creepy little big mustache
Yeah,
feelers.
I've stopped liking it as much. I used to really love seafood, and I think like as I get older, I just have ever since I got pregnant with Leona, I'm kind of like turned off of it, and I'm like, why don't I just trust my body on that one? I don't
It's a good reason.
I still like it, but I'm like I don't know. It makes me kind of feel weird.
Of all the things I could judge you on, that one's not gonna be one of them.
Thank you. I figured you'd finally support one of my food aversions, you know.
If it ain't tuna fish, I really don't want it.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting there too, honestly.
Well, the day you stop liking canned sardines is the day I'll respect you.
Okay, that's never gonna happen. Anchovies? Are you kidding?
So,
Anchovies are different, okay? They're
mm,
beautiful creations.
yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you.
I
I
know I stand
will.
alone. A lot of people like canned fish, but and I can't speak because I do like canned tuna fish, but canned sardines really is for some reason I
I
think
don't
because you
eat
could see
sardines
this, you
though.
could see
No,
the
I
color.
don't eat sardines. I just eat anchovies because they're, and I only eat them if they're like smaller and not like the fish. I don't want to eat a fish like that.
I can't look
Freaks
at
me out.
its face. That's so fucking
It's
creepy.
eyeballs.
Oh my fucking god.
Seriously.
Okay, we're done. I can't even.
Okay, we're
I
done.
have to like hold,
Camera falls.
and we're done.
And the microphone's off.
So okay, the first round of cholera plus the second round of cholera, 7% of the population is dead.
Jeez.
Um, and poor people were most affected because they live by the water. So with so many people dying so quickly, I mean, imagine all of a sudden 7% of the population in your area just dies. It leads to mass graves because you just need to bury people fast enough
Yeah. Yeah.
before they start like stinking up the place. Like,
Yeah. And then it's like people were I mean, never mind. I was gonna say like it's also like not hygienic, obviously, to have bodies around. So like
yeah.
you want to put them, lay them down to rest.
Also, in like the 18 whatevers, like I don't think they were thinking about the biological hazards the way we do. Like, I think they were just
Totally.
like, get rid of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this led to this Potter's Field overcrowding. It was already kind of overcrowded. Now 7% of the
Oof.
population is there. And on top of the field having too many bodies already, then a nearby steamboat called the Moselle exploded, killing half the people on board, which was about 150 people dead.
What? Moselle? I don't even know this story. How do you
Oh,
spell
you
that?
should. Moselle.
I have to ask my brother if he ever learned about this because I
Your
feel like that's something
brother
I should
feels
have
like
learned.
he'll for
He
sure
would
know
know,
this.
right? He's gonna be like, "Duh."
He's gonna be, what do you mean? That's actually my favorite
What
boat
do
or
you
some shit
know?
like that.
He's gonna be like, "I know the bird." Um. Wow. Okay. No, I had no idea. The other thing I was gonna say is, I feel like though when you're raised, like, I feel like Cincinnati's one of those weird places though where like we have our things that we're really proud of and that we're like, these are our Cincinnati things. But then there are things that you grow up and you're like, I didn't know that, like this. And then the other, because I think it's a little bigger than like some, like smaller towns where you have
Mhm.
like your things and everyone knows it. I feel like Cincinnati, you get like bits and pieces because I recently found out a few years ago that Play-Doh was founded in Cincinnati. And I'm like,
Hmm.
my brother and I didn't know that. And we're like, why don't they have like a Play-Doh thing at the museum or
Can you
like,
imagine a Play-Doh factory or
right,
something? Or
right. I'm like, they could at least like sponsor like a room at the kids museum or something. But I'm like, it's so weird that we've never known that.
Mhm.
It's just like, why? So
It
then
feels
anyway,
very German though. Like, why would we talk about the fun? You know?
very good point. So,
And it's in
which
Cincinnati full of German people.
it sure is.
Yeah.
And apparently they didn't want to talk about this boat explosion either.
Yeah, they're like, why talk about bad parts of our history? That's
I can't believe it. Yeah, we're a big river and a big steamboat town. So, I can't believe I don't know about this. I'm gonna look it up later.
well, let me tell you about it. So,
Even better.
well, I'm not going to tell you. You will have to look it up later if you're interested. But I will give you a quote that I think will send you into a full blown tizzy until you research it more.
Okay, I'm
Um,
texting my brother. Do you know about the Moselle steamboat? So I'll see what he says.
so it was the steamboat in town. There were 300 people on board.
Oh.
Apparently all four boilers at once exploded or something, something insane, and half the people died
Ooh.
instantly. And here is the quote for you that will absolutely make you want to learn everything about it. About 100 skeletons had to be buried here at the Pottersfield when the steamer Moselle exploded and blew the skulls and limbs and blackened trunks of their passengers all over the city so that falling bodies fell through the roofs of houses and the remains of the victims were gathered together and buried in the Pottersfield.
What?
Literally, at three different sources
Is
I
this a
found.
Mandela effect? I feel crazy right now that I don't know about this.
Three different sources I looked up on this start their article with the fact that during this explosion, the city rained bodies onto people's houses.
What?
Like bodies were just falling from the sky. Like, cuz you explode out of a fucking boat into the city and people it was going imagine a body just falls through your goddamn roof.
What the fuck?
Yep.
I cannot believe I've never heard about this. I mean, maybe I missed something because I'm like, this feels important.
It certainly I
Yeah.
feels like your town's Titanic or something.
Yes. Well, I mean, in Halifax, they had that big boat explosion, and
Mhm.
it like half the population like had hearing loss and just crazy because of the impact of that. Anyway, wild. I had no idea.
Yeah. So on top of the cholera, both outbreaks and this explosion, and what was the other thing that people died from? Something else happened. Anyway, in total, the estimated bodies buried in this field today are like up to 10,000 people. Like it was
Wow.
And you can imagine with all that land, I don't even think I could conceptualize what it would look like for that land to fit 10,000 bodies underneath it.
Yeah.
It's gotta just be, like, stacks and stacks and stacks of people.
And that's downtown now. It's like the
Yeah.
most downtown part of the city. So it's just wild to think like they were like, "How about here?" It's
Yeah.
like, "What?" I
It's
guess
gotta it's like, I mean, you're probably just walking on top of people all
it's
the
probably
fucking time.
oh, yeah, apparently you are just like bodies. That's why
Eh
they have an EMF and just wander around.
Yeah. And not only that, but in the 1840s, part of the land, that was the potter's field, so already has all of these bodies and thus maybe all of this energy or all these spirits and all this activity. Part of that land then built on top of it the Cincinnati Orphan Asylum.
Mm.
Many of those orphans were either they either had were became orphans because their parents died from these floods and cholera
Right,
outbreaks,
right.
or they eventually in the asylum also died from the
Sure.
cholera outbreak. So the kids were also all dying.
Of course.
One source said that there was also a hospital here during this time, but other sources say the hospital was after the fact. So I don't know which one is true. Um, but either way, many of these kids were also buried in the field, and it was very convenient.
Mhm.
They were just it was their backyard was a potter's field, so they just kind of dumped the kids.
It's crazy because that orphan or that asylum, was this, like, huge Gothic structure, and it was, like, so creepy and but, like, really beautiful, and then they just fucking demolished the whole thing and put up this in, like, I think the '70s or something, put up this, like, ugly, like, broadcasting radio local radio station,
Ew.
and it's just a real bummer 'cause they, like, point to where the asylum was, like, right there behind City Hall, and now there's just this junky old little building, but there used to be this, like, huge Gothic, like,
Ugh.
asylum structure thing, and I'm
Yeah,
like, "Imagine how haunted that thing is," or that fucking broadcast studio sitting right there where that asylum was.
that's the better question. They should have had a whole
Creepy.
Halloween segment on themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, so the asylum later sold and then became a temporary version. I think this is what they mean by like maybe it was the same at the same time, or maybe they were separate entities. But most sources said that the asylum sold and then became a temporary placeholder for the commercial hospital and lunatic asylum.
Ah,
Yikes.
yes, yeah.
Which they just called the pest house.
Oh
Which I love
god.
that like if anyone was like mentally ill, they were just a pest.
You just get to the pest. Get out of here, you
Get
pest.
this pesty fucking lunatic out of my house.
Yeah, that's a wild that's a
Put them where
wild.
the orphans are, where no one cares about people.
Yeah. Put them on top of all the dead bodies. Yikes. Jeez, oh, Pete.
So, and this was the temporary one because I guess they were building the actual hospital across the river, I think. Um, and so this was like the temporary one to put
Okay.
people until they could put them in the permanent spot. The pest house was used to keep people quarantined until they passed away, by the way. So this wasn't even really a true hospital. It was more like just a holding space until
Oh,
you
to just,
died.
like, hide them from the general populace.
Yeah, and then they could
Cool.
just be buried in the potter's field, which they were sitting on top of. So I
Yeah,
feel like
cool,
a lot of
cool.
people are building institutions on here with like the plan to bury the people staying in that building right
Right.
outside.
Yeah.
One note I have is that a different source said this was also a Civil War military hospital. Could have I don't know more about that. I only saw that on one source. Very likely. Um, and after the permanent hospital was built, this property was then bought. Maybe you have context on this. The property was then bought by the North American Sangerbund Society. No?
Is that like SA with an umlaut and GER?
Mhm.
Like
Bund.
singers?
Yeah.
Like the
Okay, so
singer
you don't
group?
know.
Singing
Great.
group?
Can't
I
wait
mean,
to
I know what those words mean, but I've never heard of it. Like, I know it means
Okay.
like a group of singers, but I'm like, is this like a this is so annoying. Germans are so like up in everyone's
I mean,
Cincinnati business.
Sangerbund, I would imagine means singer band, right?
Bunt is like to bind, so like a connection.
Oh,
So
fun.
bunt is like so like a group or like a cohesion or like a yeah,
A bond.
a bond exactly. Or
Singer
yeah.
bond. I'm trying to just whitewash it, American wash it, English wash it as much as I can.
It's plenty whitewash, don't worry.
So fun fact, this is where I get away from this building for a second and just tell you about the Singerbund Society. Cincinnati has lots of music and singing societies, apparently. Did you know this?
Yeah, ish, but also I never know how much is just my mother trying to like tell me fanciful tales and how much is real factual evidence. So
I feel like you're gonna get a lecture from your mom after this, and maybe me because I'm saying the history wrong. I don't
I
know,
think
but
we're gonna hear from her one way or another.
well, Cincinnati, maybe it's underground or maybe it's just not a part of your Cincinnati world, but there are a lot of singing societies. Most of them, which would explain why you're not involved, most of them are made up of four-part harmony German adult men. So maybe you're just not hanging out in the right groups.
No, I am. Trust me. My mother is part of the Germania German Society, and they have some singing groups.
Okay, great.
It's
Well,
definitely a thing. I think probably back then it was a much bigger deal. Like it held more sway than now. Just kind of retired men, just like singing on the weekends with their beer.
I feel like it was maybe the German or musical equivalent of like a moose lodge.
Yes,
And like no
that.
one does it anymore. I mean, I joined one, but then I realized nobody my age was there, so I left.
Yeah, it's sort of like a relic from the past. It's still fun, but like it's not as prominent as it was back then.
Like all of our dads run bowling leagues, and now no one does that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this was just another version of that. So these groups uh ended up finding others like them across the Midwest. There was a whole bunch. I guess they found out there was a bunch of German people, especially German men with an interest in singing. They all got together, all found each other across the Midwest, and they
Classic.
called themselves the North American Sangerbund Society.
Mhm.
And they then created the country's very first Sanger Fest, which is
Oh.
a traveling musical festival between different cities with big German populations.
Oh, wow.
So if you go to the Minneapolis, I'm just picking a random Midwest place.
Yeah, there are also a lot of Germans up there. Yeah, Germans are like St. Louis and Wisconsin and
Well, I guess
everywhere.
every one of them they every year one of them volunteers to have a Sanger Fest, and everyone comes from all the Midwest cities to sing together.
Beautiful.
When they hosted Sangerfest in Cincinnati, the society needed more space, and so they quickly built onto this. It was this asylum on top of a potter's field that became this hospital for temporarily. And now that the hospital had moved out, the Sangerbund Society bought this so they could have their singing fraternity there, I guess. And then they hosted Sangerfest, and they were like, "Well, we could host at our place, but it's not big enough, so we're going to build an addition." Basically, that's the
Okay, okay.
spark notes of all this. So the original building plus its additions made up what would eventually be called Sanger Hall, which was it was also
Oh.
called the Exposition Building.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it is so big, is because
That's so crazy. Okay,
they
yeah.
had to build it out for all the Midwest German men who sing.
Well,
Um,
I mean, what better reason could there be?
I can't think of one.
No.
It also shows that like in the 1800s we were just doing anything. Like we just had nothing but
Also, like,
time.
no, really, and then it's like, oh well, should this be an orphanage? Maybe a hospital? Should we get a bunch of German men to sing Hallelujah in here? Like, I don't know, whatever you want it to be. The world is your fucking oyster, dude.
Also, this is not a diss to the German language, although it is, stereotypically a very intense language.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you're on a potter's field with 10,000 dead people in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was an orphan asylum where children also died and were buried on the property. And then it was a quote lunatic asylum where all of the mentally ill people were also buried there. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's just a cathedral of German singing. It's like
Yeah.
just couldn't sound more Transylvanian to me. Just like
It is. It's haunting in
truly haunting.
every way. I mean, imagine. Ready?
Oh boy.
Schlaf, Kindlein, schlaf. Der Vater hütet die Schaf, die Schaf. I'm trying to do the harmony.
I
Die Mutter schüttet Träumelein, fällt. Oh, wait, no, wait. Die Mutter schüttet Bäumelein, fällt herab ein Träumelein. Schlaf, Kindlein, schlaf. That's a lullaby.
my,
Der Vater hütet die Schafe. I used to, when Leona was a baby, I would sing that for like hours. So once I get going, it just like doesn't stop.
The way that on day one of this podcast you said I'll never speak German, and now you're fucking singing it, babe.
Now I'm like, harmonize with me.
Yeah. And also by still having like a soft, nice voice. Like, you still didn't make it sound
That was
like
my example
imposing.
to be like, you can probably try to make it less like grating, if I think singing also takes away a lot of the harshness because if you think about like when
Mm,
people sing in English and it's hard to tell if they have like an accent or if they have a dialect, I
sure.
feel like it takes some of that harshness away. So they're just probably tricking you.
That's a great point because in my head, the inside of these walls sounds like "Oh Fortuna" or
Like,
something.
yeah. Like,
Um,
yeah, Rammstein, like, yeah,
oh, well, thank you for the reference. That actually does help. That it does
you're
help.
so welcome.
So, wow, I can't get over it. I didn't even ask you to do that. Oh my god,
I don't know
it's
why that
incredible.
I don't know
S
why that happened.
that was a masterful experience.
Thank you.
So the exposition building would also host the not the first, but the second May Music Festival.
Oh, yeah, I know about this.
Okay, so
This is, I think, a more like, like a more like, well-known thing
and
around here, I
it
think.
is hosted by the Music Hall today, right?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, that probably is why. Yeah,
It's
that makes
that
sense.
means the second one, not the first one, but the one after that was hosted all in that building all the way back then too. So it's been hosted
That's
since
cool.
its inception, basically. And what is the May Music Festival for people? It's just what type
It
of music is it?
it's I've never been. I feel like it's, as far as it was one of those things tell me if you have something similar, but to me, it was, like, where the only people who went were, like, people's parents. Like, it's basically like a
Mm,
choral music festival, like choirs, and
yeah.
it would be like you'd have like my dad, I think, in one of his bathrooms has like a poster that says like Mayfest like 1994, and it's like in the park, and people are saying I don't know. It just seems kind of like a very old timey tradition.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a choral concert or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's like not necessarily my jam, but
Not me either. If someone invited me, I think I would say no, thank you.
I would be like, what's the food situation? Like, are there
What's
kiosks? Do I
that?
have to sit and watch the whole thing, or can I
What
like
do I
get
have
up
to
and roam?
wear?
What do I have to wear is a good question.
How long
Like,
will it be? What's the
I'm gonna
after
send
party
you
situation?
as an example a picture of like one of the events in music hall, and like I think you and I would be so far away from this that we wouldn't even be on the same orbit as these people if
Can't
this were
wait.
occurring anywhere nearby. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm not sitting in one of those chairs down there and watching this.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I to the people who love that, I'm so glad
I
for you,
respect music
but I
of
don't
all
wanna do that.
sorts.
That's I
It's just not for me, this kind.
We all know I like the whimsy, and there just isn't anything whimsical about that.
Yeah, we need a lot more razzle
Dopamine.
dazzle. Yeah.
As someone with ADHD, I really need someone to
Like my palms are sweating looking at those rows of seats where you're in the middle and you can't get out. And everyone near you is wearing like wool or tweed.
yeah. It also you know what it
Thick
is?
top.
I think it's because it looks like a place where I can't laugh. And I if I'm not allowed to giggle somewhere, then I don't really wanna be there.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anyway, they hosted the second May Music Festival here, and something very historical to the Cincinnati Music Hall happens at the
What?
second May Music
A
Festival.
fire?
No, something less intense than that.
Oh, oh, oh.
But okay,
The
so
president came?
no,
Okay.
a thunderstorm came.
Oh.
And this music festival was attended by a big businessman in the area named Reuben Springer. If Springer means anything to you in
Yep.
Cincinnati, it is
Yeah.
about him. Um, he went to this music festival at the exposition building, which would one day be the music hall.
And sorry, what year was this? Like the 1880s or something? Or was
I don't. It was in the 1870s.
Okay, okay. I'm just trying to get my brain to picture Reuben Springer correctly.
Sure. Which, by the way, reminder that 1818 to the 1870s is not a long time for this many dead people to now be in the ground. You know what I mean? And like,
Oh, yeah, only a couple decades, true.
yeah.
Yeah,
So a lot of history's already happened here.
that's crazy.
But then Reuben Springer comes to the May Music Festival, and there is a horrendous storm outside. And remember, I told you that they were going to host music festivals at this place. The Sangerbund Society was going to host music festivals here, but they didn't have enough space. So they kind of just slapped together as much additional space as possible.
Yeah.
So they did it with really cheap materials just to get it up in time.
That's not very German of them.
And basically, Ruben Springer went to this thing and he was pissed that this world-class music that was being performed here
Ah,
not only, I'm sure, visually didn't look its best, but he
right.
couldn't fucking hear anything because the acoustics were so bad because the storm outside was just pouring in through these like very thin wooden walls. It had a fucking tin roof. So like remember we had a show at a place that
Yes.
had a tin roof and it was
Yes.
storming outside and no one
And
could
we
even
kept
hear
thinking it
us?
was aliens. And everyone was like, it's rain or hail. I'm like, it's at least hail. That's interesting, guys.
Like I mean,
No?
we had fucking microphones on a stage and people could not hear us. It was so
It was so fucking
loud.
loud.
It's like, who built a tin roof over a comedy club? What is wrong with you? Anyway, the thunder outside and the rain outside was distracting him from the music so much, and he was this big, rich man that he was like, "Fuck this," and he basically he made the director or the conductor or whatever literally pause the performance halfway until the storm could
What?
continue, which has to be
Imagine
so
being that
embarrassing.
fucking bold that you're just like, I'm just gonna get up and stop him real quick.
Did he just shout from the audience? He was like, "Make it stop!" But
Like, halt, everybody, stop, cut.
it has
It's
to be
like, cut, you're
so
not, what the
embarrassing.
fuck? You're not the conductor. Also, like, we were just saying, it doesn't even look like you're allowed to laugh in there, let alone, like, stop the performance in the middle of it as an audience member. Fucking guy.
Well, this all had Springer so up in arms that he decided he was going to create the Cincinnati Music Hall Association, and he fundraised the demolition of the exhibition building.
You know, he also had, like, a tiff or something with somebody there. Like,
Had
there's
to.
no, he had to have a personal
Like a girl
investment.
rejected him there or something, and he
Or,
was
like,
like,
one of these Sanger buns, like, stole his girlfriend or something.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just that good of a singer, could never be me."
Man,
So he was
sad.
like, "Fine, I'm actually gonna demolish this entire fucking building on the property.
Fine.
But I'm going to construct on top of it the Cincinnati Music Hall."
Okay.
And so the only reason the Cincinnati Music Hall stands today is because this guy didn't like that the last one had a tin roof,
Fair
basically.
enough. I should thank you, sir, Ruben.
And in 18 it was getting built from 1876 to 1878. And the construction, of course I did the math for you. It was a 20,000 square foot music hall, still is I think, or maybe it's grown. And it cost 300 grand back then in the 1870s,
Oh my
$300,000.
God.
You want to take a whack at
How
how
much?
much that is today?
6 million.
9 million.
9 million. Oh my Lord in heaven.
And Springer paid for over half of it himself.
Oh wow.
I can't imagine hating something so much that I'm willing to spend $4.5 million at least, probably $5 or $6 million to make a different version of it. I don't
To
have
be like, fix the roof.
like what kind of money? That's some Taylor Swift fucking money to be like,
I
oh,
was gonna
here's
say
6 mil.
that's like when they say like, oh, that would be the equivalent of like $40 to you. It's like that was
Yeah,
probably what it was like. Yeah.
yeah. But during this construction, this is where they found the first round of human remains from the Potter's Fields.
Did they forget they were there?
I guess they fucking
It's
forgot.
like it's like what, 60 years ago, right?
Yeah, so I guess if you dig deep enough, and so the papers at the time said that it wasn't just like a little bit of human remains. Boxes of bones were being pulled out of the ground during this excavation.
Ooh,
Boxes and
God.
boxes and boxes of bones. And the remains had not been dug up until now, even though something else had been built on the property,
Right.
because it was all so slapped together that they never went deep enough into the foundation to find bodies.
Oh, so they were like, "We're good," until
Yeah.
now.
Which also, like, there was a hospital, there was a whole orphanage here, like, and they just never
Mhm.
actually structurally built this thing properly.
Yeah, well, it didn't matter then, but now that Ruben's gonna have a seat in this place, we gotta make it tip top, baby.
Well, so unsure what to do with the remains, some, not all, were brought to Spring Grove Cemetery. Can you imagine if this is the cemetery you live on top of? That'd be crazy.
I live right by it. It's huge. It's like the biggest in town, and it's very famous. And it's like an arboretum and the gardens. Like you
Oh,
can
wow.
do like all these big garden tours. I've done them a lot because my stepmom's really into plants.
Mhm.
Um, and they do a lot of tours and stuff. My mom just did one there, and we used to go bike riding in there. It's beautiful.
Perfect. Well,
But yeah, very haunted and very big.
a
And
lot
it
of
is literally 4 minutes. It's like 2 or 3 minutes maybe by car.
LOL. At least it's not the one that you live on, because
No,
then I'd be
thankfully. That would be
triangulating.
wild.
Uh, so these remains were brought to Spring Grove Cemetery, at least some of them were, and that becomes a constant thing as more and more remains are found. Only some of
Oh.
them are brought to the cemetery and some of them are just reburied somewhere else on the current Pottersfield property. Um, I
I
don't
wonder how
know
they
why how they picked that.
determine that. That's kinda creepy.
Well, in the 1920s, so that was in the 1870s, they were digging all this up and they found all these boxes and boxes of bodies.
Right.
In the 1920s, that's 50 years later, during another wave of construction, workers unearthed 3 coffins, and one was actually interestingly enough was from a one of the coffins had a fully legible headstone from the 1830s, which was almost 100 years old at the time,
Wow,
and
a
it was
headstone.
perfectly legible.
And it was underground?
It's underground,
Wow.
which, like, what is that story?
They just, like, dumped it o on top of it. Yeah, ooh, it's so creepy, dude.
Um, Before they could do anything about these bodies, some grave robbers heard about it and stole some of the pieces. But as for the rest of the remains, they were reburied not just on the property, but in the new elevator shaft they were constructing in that moment.
Yes, I know that I know of that story vaguely, that the elevator shaft has body yeah, yeah.
I can't understand why on earth you would go, "Oh my god, we found bodies under this building we're trying to build. Let's put them back in the building at a different spot." How does that fucking make sense?
It's a very Christine move. "We'll just put it over
It's like,
here.
well, there's a hole we just
That
dug.
fixes the problem."
Maybe they were on a time crunch, I don't know. Well, soon after this, construction workers found even more remains,
Uh-oh.
including in one of the locations, they found 65 graves, and
Jesus.
they nicknamed that area the Valley of Death.
Woof. Okay. God, that's a lot.
So that's 65, then and that's just in one section they found. There was other bodies they found, then the 3 bodies they put in the elevator shaft, then the boxes of bodies from 50 years ago. And now in
Jeez.
1969, even more remains were found under the auditorium. And in 1988, the same remains buried under the elevator shaft were found
That's
again.
okay, that's what I knew, but that they found bodies, so I thought I had it mixed up, but it was just
They found
they've
them.
also put them there, then later they were dug up. Oh
They
god.
found them there. They put them back in there. Then they were found again. And I'm assuming they found additional remains nearby. But
Jeez.
what's extra creepy? So let's go back to what year was that found the elevator shaft story. That
80
was
oh, the first one?
mm, the 19. Where the fuck was the elevator shaft? Oh, okay. So in the 1920s, they found those 3 coffins, one with a fully legible headstone,
Right.
and then grave robbers came and took some of it, but whatever was left, they put in the elevator shaft. So
Okay, okay.
it was found in the 1920s, put in the elevator shaft at that point, and then 60 years later in the 80s, they were refound, but what you didn't know before this moment was that there were several other remains nearby and only 3 of them had been found previously.
Uh,
And what
this is crazy. It's like every 20 years they're like they must know what's gonna happen. It happens every time. It's like,
Imagine one of
shouldn't
those cameras where you can see a body under the ground,
yeah,
just
like
scanning the whole
LiDAR.
floor.
I mean, it would just be like and I guess I get it, like, what are you gonna do? Tear the whole building down so you can I mean, I don't know what you would do, but it's just like
Well,
bananas to me.
the extra eerie thing of, like I said, not just finding those 3 bodies, but to know in future hindsight that there was actually several more bodies they were just they were digging next to but didn't know about.
Yeah.
In the 80s when they refound these remains that everyone knew about, what they ended up finding in addition to that was over 200 pounds of bones.
Oh god.
And then they were all reburied in another area on the property. Not Spring Grove Cemetery, just another area on the property. So they just keep finding and reburying on the same fucking property these bones.
And it's like bone, so it's like it's not like every person gets their own plot. It just feels like they're
Yeah.
kinda just getting
S-
tossed in.
some of these remains specifically, were transferred to the University of Cincinnati for research.
Okay.
Um, but most of them were just reburied on the property again, which, like, this is in the 1980s. Like, that feels recent enough that we should have known to put them in a fucking cemetery.
Yeah, I wonder if, it was like there's like a precedent, like,
Yeah,
oh, well, if you find bodies in a spot that used to be a graveyard, you can't, like, move them, you know?
I
Maybe
guess
there's something
so.
like that, but it seems weird because it's like it was a
You're still
kind of
uprooting it and putting it
it
somewhere
was a
else.
kind of a half-assed graveyard, it wasn't really official, it was just kinda slapshod, like,
Yeah.
thrown together.
Um,
Anyway.
well, most recently, in 2016, 2017, which is not that long ago,
Mm-mm.
that's within the last 10 years, Construction w- under the either under the orchestra pit or near the orchestra pit had people finding even more remains. This time they found
Jesus.
4 more bodies and 6 grave shafts,
Jesus.
and they were anticipated to be reburied in Spring Grove Cemetery. It's assumed that they were, but I did not see any update. Like the
Jeez.
article I found was like the breaking news, we found more fucking bodies here. Can you believe it? And then it was like we're
Everyone's like, "Yeah, we can."
and they were like the plan is Spring Grove Cemetery, but I don't know if that actually happened.
Oh, okay, I never like yeah.
So anyway, these are just 2 of my favorite quotes that I found in all these articles. Each time construction is done at the Cincinnati Music Hall, more bones are unearthed. Not a foot of ground lies under the exposition building unoccupied by moldering bones. Ugh.
Oh!
On top of this, Cincinnati Music Hall is near other formal burial grounds. Washington Park used to be a
Mhm.
spot with multiple burial grounds all sharing the same property. So it was like 2 or 3 different burial grounds all combined into one big plot. And then they
Mm.
just built Washington Park on top of it.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, and it has a dog park, and it's free, and they have a
So
bar, and they have, like, outdoor bar, and they do shows and flea markets and, like, craft fairs, and it's right in front of City Hall. It's so beautiful, and then someone inevitably, if I'm your friend and I'm there with you, I go, "Hey, guess what?" And Blaze is like, "Don't start." And then I'm like, "There goes underneath us.
all I'm
Hundreds,
saying is that
thousands."
first thing you said was dog park. First thought I had was so the dogs can literally dig up bones.
I mean, yeah, probably.
And Hank Wood, by the way, he's in a real digging phase these days.
Oh, that's rough because Geo does that too, and it really fucks with my yard.
Oh,
My yard. I have like 3 feet of green, but
one of the
he fucks
things
that up.
one of the things I've had to learn is how to like replant like all this stupid fucking
He
grass
literally
because
ripped my whole rose bush out. I'm like, that's the only plant I have. Leave it alone.
he's truly a living, breathing dowsing rod because the way that he always digs and finds like a really intense water source. Isn't that so creepy?
He is a dowsing rod.
Like at the dog park, I'm so sorry to everyone at that dog park. He dug a real crater recently and he found literally the pipes that led to like the water
What the
fountain.
fuck?
And it was like I was like, how did you know that was there? Anyway,
Hank, he's a super dog.
it's a pain in my ass. So
Yes.
anyway, fun fact: over 80 bodies uh were found. Okay, yeah, yeah. So we were talking about Washington Park. When they were building Washington Park's parking garage, if you know where that is,
Mhm. Yes.
that alone during excavation they found 80 bodies.
Oh, because it's actually under the park. So that would make sense because you have to climb up
Yeah,
into the park. Oh, ew. So it really is just like
it's just everywhere.
right in there. We're just surrounded.
So it's not even the Cincinnati Music Hall, although that is my topic today. It's just the areas everywhere are just everything is just a potter's field in Cincinnati.
Wow. Yeah, I guess so. Oops.
So for obvious reasons, many people believe Cincinnati Music Hall is haunted. I mean, the
Yes.
bodies alone, but the fact that there's also so much dark history. There was the explosion, the cholera outbreaks, the floods, there's
Yeah.
the orphanage, there was a quote lunatic asylum, and a lot of people with like who probably just had some rough luck
Yeah.
all getting buried there.
And
And then bodies were being found and reburied and found and reburied, so they've had no
yes.
closure.
And just like discarded or just reburied. And also like I'm assuming a lot of these people are nameless, identityless,
Yeah,
and
they're a potter's field. They were unclaimed bodies, so we don't know
right,
who they were.
unclaimed. And on top of that, like you have a place where people are performing and people are getting emotional. I mean, as
Yeah.
emotional as you can get at like a choir show, but like others, like an opera or like where people are like theaters,
Mhm.
they're already really active
Yeah.
energetically. So that would probably just mix it all up.
Yeah. Or like what if you're singing a song from their favorite time period or something, and
Oh,
I'm sure there's
Schlaf, Kindler, Schlaf. Is that it? Is that the one?
I was thinking I mean, I don't know what song I was thinking, but I'm sure there's something where like you're accidentally like not conjuring something, but you're inviting stuff in or, something like that if you're
Connecting with something.
connecting or anything. Welcoming people in, welcoming spirits in.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just super fucking haunted. The Travel Channel actually named this one of the most terrifying places in America. Congratulations, Christine.
Thanks.
People is just some of the things people report. They report an eerie stillness when they're alone, a sense of dread when they're alone,
Mm.
something staring at you, cold chills despite the heat outside or even inside. There'll just be like pockets of really weird air.
Mm.
People feel a presence near the ballroom. They'll see shadows in photos. They hear something being dragged through the halls. There was one guy who said that it sounded like someone was dragging their boots and a gun through the hall. And I was like, that's fucking intense.
Wait! I feel like they told us that on the ghost tour or on one of the ghost tours where they said, like, it sounded like the dragging. Yeah, ew, I feel like I've heard that.
Would have, although I didn't see this in a lot of sources, that would validate the history that this was a Civil War hospital at one point.
True, true, true.
But it sounded like a guy who was just dragging, like, his gear through the
It's like
hall.
rifle or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
People also hear angry whispering, they hear maniacal laughter, they hear giggling, they hear doors opening and closing by themselves, they hear heavy footsteps that don't seem to be hiding that they're heavy footsteps. They're just very loud. Phantom violin music, there's a woman singing in the halls in the morning. There are a lot of security guards who are like, "I know that I'm alone here," and yet it sounds like there's 5 people upstairs. Um,
Mm-mm. That's yeah, when the security guard gets freaked out, that's when I'm like, "Okay, I trust you because you are supposed to
yeah.
know these things." Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow, I don't know how she did it, but she's done it again. The fucking lady in white was there.
Oh, she's everywhere. Of course she's gonna go to a Sängerbund, festival.
She's
She
like
heard my
she's
lullaby.
like, "I'm here for eternity, and you're telling me that there's singing?" I'm absolutely
There's
like I am
there's
so convinced
German
at this
singing?
point that it is only one fucking woman in white, and she just knows the way through every portal into every haunted location.
Oh, you're right, and she's just, like, kinda summoned. She just, like, follows the wind, wherever it takes you.
I'm
Takes
so
her.
over her. She is all over the place.
I can't get enough of her.
I if I am to be a ghost that haunts, I hope I have the superpowers she
I
does.
mean, you literally dressed as her. You must even though you have, like, a frenemy thing going on,
I
I
think
think.
there's a it's I haven't admitted to myself yet that it's a
That's right.
jealousy.
Means a little
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I just don't know how she does it. And like stay out of my stories. I'm so tired of you. Like give someone else a
This
chance.
isn't about you.
So yeah, a woman in a white dress has been seen apparently dancing as if she is having a good time at this
Just
singing
having a good
musical stuff.
time.
Also, there are formally dressed, very fancy people dancing together in one of the rooms. Another woman is seen dancing by herself, or she'll walk down the hall and turn and see you, and then she'll fade away in front of you.
Mm.
People have also seen apparitions in old-fashioned fancy clothes watching the performances, and thought they were actors. So they were sitting next to someone in the audience and was like, "Oh my god, this is like so immersive, fun."
What? That is creepy.
And it was just like someone that does
Hey,
not
the
exist
Houdini
anymore.
show should do a show here because I feel like that would be
I know.
right in line with their whole thing.
Can you imagine if they accidentally summoned Harry Houdini? That'd be crazy.
How fucking cool. Finally.
I know. I've been waiting for that one.
Took them long enough.
So, no, a lot of people have said like after the fact, "Oh my god, I love that you guys used actors in the audience, so it felt like we were all really there." And they're
Yeah.
like, "No, that wasn't us." Others have watched shadow people walk through the theater and the halls from one end of the room to the other. Actually, a lot of staff said that in interviews where they were
I've
like,
heard that.
I'd be
Yeah.
looking up and I would look at one of the halls from downstairs and I'd look up and I would just see a full person just walk across and as if like
That's not cool. And that feels like very theater. Like I feel like a lot of theaters have like people walking on like a catwalk or like in the audience, like
yeah.
shadow figures. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I've been saying that a lot to myself recently when I'm just like, I don't like that. And
I don't like that. I just simply don't.
it's like I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but
What more do you want?
I don't like that actually. Employees no, one employee, this is a good one. One employee was actually on stage with his kid, who was about Leona's age, when the theater was empty. I guess doing some last minute work or rehearsing or something. And the kid asked, "Who is that, Daddy, who's sitting in the box and waving at us?"
No, thanks.
And the theater was totally empty. So that was in box number 9. I guess box 9 is it known to be the haunted box.
Interesting.
Investigators have also sat on the stage and seen someone from the seats waving at them, which confirms what this little kid said.
Yuck.
But they have just been standing on stage, and all of a sudden you just see someone stand up from the seat and just wave at you. It's like
I
so
just
intentional. I like
that's what creeps me out is like it's intentional
I can
and
get
like they clearly see you.
I can get behind it being residual and like where you're walking across the hall because that's what you were doing right before you died. But like the
Right.
second you're intelligent and you
You're being
know that I'm
acknowledged.
looking for you, and then you stand up
Mhm.
and literally put yourself in front of us.
Mhm.
Which, like, again, we've said this a million times, but how funny is it that, like, they're doing exactly what we want, and they're thinking they're probably making us so happy, and then we're just like, "Ah, get away."
Ah! Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like, "Oh, we're just trying to" yeah.
Well, uh, oh, this also most happens in, box 9 in the box 9 seats, and the seats in the theater are also spring-loaded, by the way, so as soon as someone gets out of them, they should pop
Mhm.
back up, and there are some seats that will just stay down no matter what, and it's only when you feel like someone's staring at you.
Yuck, because they do. They're like those old-timey seats that just, like, boing, right
Yeah,
back up. Yeah.
and it just someone's sitting there.
Mm-mm.
Another person saw a balloon with a weight on it, I guess to, like, be a centerpiece at a table, watched it float down the hallway, and the words they actually used was, "It hopped down the hall by itself."
Ew!
No,
Like a
thank
little
you.
kid took it. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god.
One employee actually kept hearing the over at the box office, he kept hearing, like, the concierge bell or the customer service bell dinging, and when he would check, nobody was there, then he would leave, and he'd hear the dinging again, he'd come back out, nothing was there, he'd leave, and the dinging would happen, and eventually, the last time he checked it, he felt something tug on his shirt, and when he looked down, he saw a whole-ass child in old-fashioned clothing staring at him, which, like, it didn't even occur to me that could be one of the kids from the orphanage.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
there are also
Oh.
There are other little kid apparitions all seen through the building,
I've
especially.
heard the kids ones, which always surprised me, but I guess it does make sense with that orphanage because I was like, this place isn't like very kid friendly, but that
Yeah,
does, yeah.
they must be from the orphanage. Um, but they're seen a lot, that's would also explain some of the giggling that people hear,
Ugh.
if anyone has ever felt their own clothes being tugged, maybe it was a kid.
Right.
And in one area of the theater that's now, like, the backstage area, right behind the curtains, apparently one group saw a little girl over there, she just appeared in front of them and told them not to go in the basement because bad things happen there. And when they looked back, she was gone, and
What do you think happened in the basement?
I have no idea, but in my mind, the basement is where they all got buried.
Right. I don't like that.
Like, did something worse happen
Did anything
first?
else happen? Yeah. Did something happen to her?
I
Was
have
she
n
buried there?
I have no idea, but she just went away, and nobody knew who this little girl was. They she sh
Goodness.
Yeah. Now the freight elevator, which the elevator shaft stories, the
Mm-hmm.
freight elevator used to move all by itself between floors, even when nobody was pressing a button to even call the elevator. Employees would say, this one guy in particular, he had a very creepy interview where he was like, you would be 50 feet away from the elevator and you would watch the button turn on, like as if
Ah.
someone called the elevator in front of you, and then the elevator would start moving to your floor.
And then you're like, do I walk backwards
Yeah.
now? Like,
It's like,
you take,
or
I'll take the next
do
one,
you
you know?
want me to go in there? Like,
Or
what
are
do you
you calling
want?
it for me? Yeah, like, oh god.
The creepiest accounts are definitely the security guards there. There was, one watchman who, heard knocking on the main door when it was snowing out, and when he went to look out, there was nobody there, and there were no footprints in the snow leading up to the
Oh
theater.
god.
Another time, he heard music playing from nowhere, and so he went looking for it, and when he got on the elevator, his whole body started to tingle, and for, like, days after that, he could not go to the elevator without his body getting the same tingling feeling.
What is that about?
I have no fucking clue, but I certainly hate it.
I also hate it, thanks.
Another watchman, this is a quote, who said, "You hear music playing somewhere late at night when you know no one is there, and when you get there, you find it coming from some other place. You go to that place, and then you hear it coming from another place." So the music you would play chase with this music.
Yes. Okay.
And then another quote, this is a long one, but it's super worth it. The weirdest and strangest noises would occur at intervals all night long. Rappings on the ceiling, under the floor, on the doors and windows, the sound of stealthy footfalls behind me, or of loud trampling before me, the crash of heavy timbers thrown from the ceiling, glass dashed upon the floor, of heavy bodies being dragged over the planks. They never touched me, but I always knew when they were around by an icy chill, a thrill as of electricity, a feeling that what the French call a coup de poulet or goose flesh, goosebumps. They never annoy me now by mere knocking and rapping because I've gotten used to it. So used to it that sometimes when people have really knocked at the door, I didn't open because I thought it was only the dead that kept
Oh,
knocking,
wow.
knocking, knocking.
Whoa, so they're like, "Oh, it's a ghost." And like, "No, this time it's actually a real
It's
person."
like, I'm actually out here. So,
Surprise.
despite the activity, none of the spirits seem dangerous, which is good. But
That's good.
for those who are skeptical, one of the music directors literally said, "Okay, then come here at 3 a.m." and like
Yeah.
challenge them. It's okay,
Yeah,
do it.
you fucking be security.
The only TV show I saw that has been here was not Ghost Adventures, but Ghost Hunters. And for
Okay.
those who can access it, it is season 9, episode 26, but it is nearly impossible to find unless you're willing to like get one of those like weird random side channels.
Oh, yeah. And, like, download something
Yeah.
shady, yeah.
Um, so I did not watch it, but it does exist. And if you're interested, the music hall does have it is a location on many ghost tours, and I think they do their own ghost tours too.
They do, that's newer, that was when I moved away, and I remember it being like, "Damn it," like,
Well,
of course, now they do it, but, yeah, I haven't
go
been yet, I would love to go.
go get you a ticket.
It
But
next year.
anyway, that is the Cincinnati Music Hall. I'm sorry it was so long, but I wanted to get everything. So I wanted to do your town
That
justice.
was so lovely, I feel like I learned so much, I had no idea. I feel like those people at the bookstore learning from our wonderful book.
Well, now you can go over to Leona and be like, "Did you know?" And then she can tell all of her little kid friends, be like, "There are bodies in there
There are
and
dead
below."
bodies everywhere. My mommy told me all about it. Yeah, it's normal. It's normal behavior.
Oh my gosh.
Cool story.
We all know Christine is not the world's biggest horror movie
Mhm.
fan. However, the movie Keeper is coming out. I'm very
I
excited
know.
about it. It's going to be
I've
a good
committed.
one.
I'm
It's
committing to the bit.
It's gonna be a good one. From Osgood Perkins, the director of Longlegs and the Monkey, comes a new breed of nightmare, and master of horror James Wan, creator of The Conjuring, praises Keeper as a terrifying, ghostly descent into madness, which is
I'm
10 out of
ready.
10 to me.
Don't miss the horror event of the season. Keeper opens in theaters nationwide November 14th.
Christine, I'm bad with my money.
No.
Yeah, we'll just ask all the Pokemon in my binder. But luckily these days, we have Chime. It helps
Mhm.
us so much. It certainly helps me, and it takes away a lot of the headaches that I've got going on. It, all the way down to what was it overdraft fees in college. That was
Mhm.
a struggle. So
When you set up direct deposit through Chime, you get access to fee-free features like free overdraft coverage, getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, and more. You can learn more about that at chime.com/drink. To date, Chime has spotted members over $30 billion,
mhm.
not to mention access to over 47,000 fee-free ATMs, which is hard enough as it is, to find a fee-free ATM. So that's more than the top 3 national banks combined. So I think that's an easy yes from me.
It certainly is for someone who has about 1,000 Pokemon screaming out of the binder that I need to stop. I can use a helping hand along the way to
That's
being
so
a Pokemon master.
nice.
Work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/drink. That's chime.com/drink. Chime feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
Okay, so we are back from the intermission. Speaking of music hall,
Mhm.
we just had a lovely, classy intermission. Um,
We played soft classical piano in the back and
that's right. We said things like
ciao ciao.
ciao ciao and Reuben, do pass the potted quail.
Do fetch me a pail of crystal. I don't fucking know.
Yep, that's what we said, and it
Bisou,
was a
bisou,
good
Ruben. Bisou,
bisou
bisou.
bisou. Okay, here we go. 457 is today's episode, and I'm going to tell you the story of a young woman who was the source of quite a lot of mystery in Sumter County, Florida, for many decades. This is the case of Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee. And I'll explain all that. But first note here is that February 19th, 1971, a woman's remains were found beneath the northbound span of I-75 in Sumter County, Florida, near the Lake Panasoffkee overpass. For almost 55 years, her identity was unknown, and she was referred
Mm.
to only as Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee. But just 5 days ago, as we record this, like
Mhm.
this past week,
Holy
they have
shit.
revealed the identity
Oh,
of.
get out. Wow.
I know. I was like looking at different stories. I'm like, this one's interesting, and then I saw like the timestamp, and I was like, that was like a week ago. So this is a very timely story, and she's no longer a Jane Doe. So there's a little bit of closure here. So Let's get into it. February 19th, 1971, two teenage hitchhikers find the partially submerged body of a young woman under the I-75 bridge at Lake Panasoffkee, Sumter County, Florida. The remains were badly decomposed, and at the scene, investigators found that a men's size 36 leather belt had been fastened around her neck.
Mm.
And this indicated ligature strangulation. Investigators estimated she was between 17 and 24 years old, 5'2" to 5'5", and about 115 pounds. They could tell that after being strangled with the belt, she had then been wrapped in a blanket and thrown off the
Oh
bridge,
my God.
off the overpass. It's just like horrific. She was clothed in a green shirt, green plaid pants, and a green floral poncho-style shawl, and she wore a gold watch, a gold necklace, and a ring with a transparent stone on her left-hand ring finger. There were no missing persons report that matched her profile, so they buried her locally, and she became known in the community as Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee.
Okay.
15 years later, 1986, the body was exhumed for further forensic work because obviously technology had advanced by then. Not quite enough, but it had advanced. Investigators determined she had given birth to at least 2 children before her death, so she was presumably a mother in some sense. She had extensive dental work, including a porcelain crown on an upper right tooth, and she had had an operation on her right ankle. Excuse me.
Okay.
Over the decades, investigators would release information about her, trying to get anybody to submit a tip or say that sounds like my aunt or my long lost mother or something. And so they would release these details, and they would also release multiple facial reconstructions to try and figure out. There are a bunch of them that they've made over the years of different ways she
Mm.
might have looked.
And how many people did you say reached out? Or did you say? Because that's a lot of. I mean, everyone I feel like knows someone who's had an operation on their ankle, or like it. That's not
Yeah.
a lot to go off of. For
But I
a
mean,
crown.
if you're like 17 to 21, 22, and you've had an
Sure,
operation on your
sure.
ankle, I feel like that narrows it down. But nothing, nobody reported this person missing. No clue.
Hmm.
So over the decades, investigators released multiple facial reconstructions. The story was even featured on a 1992 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. And some tips did come in, but there was no positive identification. Now we really fast forward to 2012. Further forensic examinations, including isotope testing, suggested the victim may have grown up in southern Europe near Athens, Greece.
Okay, interesting. What
And the
do
way that
you, I'm really throwing a wrench at you here. What is isotope
I'm,
testing
a, I'm
specifically?
so glad you asked, because I did go through a minor rabbit hole on
Because I've heard you say it
Reddit,
before, but I don't know what it is.
and I believe it's called a kind of a pseudoscience-y, hokey kind of thing. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know if that's true, but I feel like people argue about the validity. Um, it is. I'm not super. I know you're gonna be shocked to hear this. I'm not super smart.
It's okay.
But
I
it's.
knew I was really you.
But
That
do you
was
know that, have you heard of when people say, "Oh, we looked at their dietary
mhm.
and where they might have grown up, or the calcium in their teeth or something," and
Yeah,
that's what they do to then determine where they may have grown up.
sure.
So, I don't know if they tested her hair or her teeth or what, but something that they tested led them to believe she had grown up near Greece,
Sure.
and had arrived in the US. And I think they can also tell through your hair, what you've been
Interesting.
eating and drinking. And I think there are some ways that you can test. So I don't know. I don't want to say it's a bunk science. I have no idea. But
I mean, I've heard you say it truly. I've heard it on Law and Order. I just don't
yeah,
know. I
I
just
think it's just basically taking elements of and trying to geographically trace them
triangulate.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they determined she had been only in the US only 1 to 3 months before being killed. So this obviously narrowed it down quite a bit. And as a result, the case was then featured on a Greek TV show. And this led one woman in Greece to call in a tip that she believed this woman was a friend named Constantina that she had lost touch with. This was a classmate she'd known from prep school in Greece, where they were being trained to be domestic help. And as part of a work contract, Constantina had arrived in the United States within that 1 to 3 month period where they had claimed that she had entered the States. Although this seemed promising, it ended up being another dead end, and the woman was not, in fact, the Greek Constantina.
Hmm.
So, despite all these investigative efforts over the years, 5 decades passed with no identity for this young woman. Now we zoom to last week,
Okay.
October 2025. Sumter County Sheriff's Office announced last week that Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee has been positively identified. On October 1st of 2025, latent prints from the 1971 case were submitted through a, quote, storm automated biometric identification system.
So what's that
Appar-
one?
yeah, thanks. This is not a bunk science. It is a an automated system that has only been recently put into place in Florida, and it is a way to biometrics where they take your fingerprint and your facial
Mhm.
recognition and all that shit. They have like a very state of the art system to trace fingerprints and other biometrics, and they had latent prints from 1971 from that case, but they hadn't run it through this new storm system.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they did in October last month, and they got a match. And it was like, holy shit. And it was a match for her, like her
Mm,
fingerprints.
so cool.
So they put the prints in and they matched a 1970 arrest record of a 21-year-old woman in Hillsborough County named Maureen L. Minor Rowan. She had been born March 21st, 1949, and to her family she was known as Cookie. That was her nickname.
Cool.
Cookie Rowan was born in Maine but lived in Tampa and was estranged from her husband, Charles Emery Rowan Sr. She also had ties to Jacksonville, Gainesville, and Enigma, Georgia, and she'd only been 21 when she was murdered. Side note here, the sheriff's office clarified that the initial assumption of the isotope testing of her being a Greek immigrant was inaccurate because apparently the isotope test that they performed on her had been contaminated by the formaldehyde gel that they used back in the 70s. And
Okay.
this formaldehyde gel on the body apparently sent them like to Greece. They were like, "Oh, she's from Greece," but it was just the.
Wild.
So I think that's why it gets flack because there are
And
some
never even occurred to me, by the way, formaldehyde could be a gel. Like that's
formaldehyde gel. I
you're saying
know.
a lot of things to me that I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, that's kind of an icky one. And the fact that they like it says it was used in embalming in the 70s. And I'm like, I bet you they don't even use that anymore. I bet you there's just
No,
like
I'm sure they
buckets
really.
of formaldehyde gel somewhere in a basement of Music Hall or something. Oh my
I know.
God.
I was literally gonna. You said it first.
Creepy.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just
No. And so I thought that was interesting because it's like, I guess if isotope testing can get contaminated by like embalming fluids, then like, yeah, it is a little shadier than, I don't know, whatever,
yeah,
but
it feels like I
not as
always
foolproof, maybe.
yeah, I always think that new technology is like like that we're already considering that it could like we're already making it in a way where that it won't get in the way of like I don't really know what I'm saying, but I would imagine that if I built something to help identify people, it would first occur to me that like we don't want things in the system to mess all that up. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying. I think of it as more foolproof every time when I think of
Oh, yeah.
like when I think of new technology, I think of other factors not getting in its way. I just always think of it as like pretty
No, you're right,
primo
especially
stuff.
especially because like that was in 2012 and that was like very advanced, for the time, and it was like clearly like got a lot of leads and went to Greek television, and it's like, "Oh shit, even in 2012 like we're," which makes you think like, what now are we completely botching that we don't even realize, like.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
just I would think that if it's been built and is being used, then we've already considered that it that nothing is going to get in its way, and like the test results are going to be accurate, or like
Right,
that.
it's like a lie detector where it's like not allowed as evidence in
Hmm.
court, but it's still used even though it's not foolproof, and like it's used as like a tool, but it's not necessarily
Yeah.
foolproof. Yeah, so that's kind of how I think about it. It's interesting though, like the idea of isotope testing. Um,
One day, can you cover instead of doing like a true crime case, would you just do an episode where you just like talk about all the different like ways that they are able, like all the techniques they are able to use to identify people and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah,
I think that'd be super
yeah,
because like isotope testing or like
yeah.
Like all the things that they talk, like CODIS, like all the things that they use and what they actually all do.
Genealogy. Oh my god, I could probably end up doing a whole fucking series.
I feel like
Um,
that would be a nice one-on-one 101 of like what the fuck are cops actually, what's at their
what are
disposal?
like investigators using? Like what tools? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I would love to look into that because I don't know too much. Okay, so we are back to October of this year. Sheriff Patrick Breeden stated this case has been a mystery in Sumter County for almost 55 years. Today, Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee finally has a name. At the time of her death, 21-year-old Cookie Rowan lived at 1206 Windermere Way in Tampa with her 2 young children, but strangely, nobody had reported her missing at the time of her
Yeah,
disappearance.
or like who's watching her kids?
Yeah. So investigators said they interviewed people who knew her and, as a result, began focusing on her estranged husband, of course, Charles Emery Rowan Sr., because why didn't he
Oh, as soon as you said estranged,
report
I
her
went, well, I know who the prime suspect
missing?
was.
Yeah, he's definitely a person of interest. And what they said about this was Emery's actions leading up to the separation and continuing after the discovery of Cookie's body are suspicious enough to list him as a person of interest, Captain Galvin said, but they don't have enough evidence to label him as a suspect, and he died in 2015. So there's no questioning him. So, if something comes out any other way, that's possible to get more clarity, but we don't really know.
Okay.
He is a person of interest, though. Captain John Galvin of the sheriff's office says part of their investigation now that they've identified her body and have a person of interest is trying to figure out why nobody reported her missing in 1971. He said what he had heard through interviewing family members and people who knew her is that there was some suggestion that her husband told family members that she left on her own and didn't
Mm.
want to be bothered, or what have you. So we don't really know what happened, but her kids are still alive and have spoken out about this, and that breaks my heart because
Yeah.
apparently it's been intimated, let's say it that way, and I've kind of inferred that the kids were told this story that their mom just left and abandoned them,
Which alone is traumatic.
right? And then 55 years later to find out like, oh, she was murdered right like in our town. I mean, it's just a really
Yeah.
jarring thing. Um, as for what else we don't quite know yet, and again, this is like a very recent development that we even know who it is. October 1st is when they found out,
That's
or at least when they
crazy.
submitted the prints. And like by the end of the month, they're like, we know who she is. We have her kids here at the press conference. Like, it's just wild how things move so fast.
I was gonna say, it almost makes me angry. Like, how did we get all this in 24 hours when I've been waiting this long for anything? Like, it just went from
Because
nothing to
I'm
everything.
telling you, Em, like, there's something going on where it's just like things are going faster and faster and faster. Like,
Mm-hmm.
technology, like our situations, our political atmosphere. It's just like everything is like imploding at once. It feels like I feel like next month it's gonna be where we don't even know what the state of the world, what our lives are gonna be
Fucking
like.
right.
Like things are moving so fucking fast. Um,
It's whiplash, constant
it is
whiplash.
whiplash, yes, and so that's why I'm just like so startled because I'm like, wow, within a month, like they have all this information. So hopefully, essentially, what I'm saying is I don't have the newest, obviously, like I don't have the current investigation information,
Hmm.
but they are definitely looking into this further, of course. What we don't know is the exact timeline of Cookie Rowan's movements before her death. We know investigators estimate about 30 days between her death and when her body was found.
Okay.
The exact location of the homicide is unknown. Remember, they put her in a blanket and disposed of her at the bridge, but we don't know where she was actually killed.
Sure.
We don't know the motive or the co-conspirators, if there were any. Despite her estranged husband being a person of interest, there have been no charges publicly disclosed.
And he's still alive.
No, he died in
Oh,
2015.
oh, oh, okay.
So there's no way to get, obviously any more information from him directly. But like, who knows in his stuff or maybe he talked to someone or maybe he has, who knows? I mean,
That's so frustrating though, because it's like we were just talking about how we got so much information, but it's
yeah,
also like I guess I kind of got no information. It's like, well, we know who she is, and I guess that's closure, but it's still like, well, what the fuck
But think about
happened?
what a wealth of information you suddenly have. Like
Yeah.
you literally had nothing and now it's like, "Oh, we have like an entire family dynamic. The kids are here. They know their dad." Like, he has relatives. He lived till 2015, so he had a computer, he had a phone. Like maybe they can go through shit and find
Hmm.
something. I don't know. I don't really know. Um Maybe they can check CODIS. Just kidding. I haven't done the episode yet, guys. I don't know what any of it means. Um no,
Maybe.
so maybe. But so we don't know that either, we don't know whether he did it. We don't know whether he had a motive or whether he had co-conspirators. And to close out here, I want to read a statement that one of Cookie's children released last Wednesday. For nearly 55 years, our family lived without answers about what happened to my mother. We now know that she was Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee, but she was more. She was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a woman who deserved a full life. We are deeply grateful to the Sumter County detectives and the local community who never gave up on her. Now that she has been identified, our family can begin to heal. We ask anyone who has any information on who killed our mother to please come forward. So, if you do, anybody out there have any information relevant to Maureen Cookie Rowan's life or death in 1971 in the Sumter County, Florida area, please contact the Sumter County Sheriff's Office tip line at 352-569-1915 or via email to sumtertips@sumtercountysheriff.org.
Hmm.
And that is the wildly recently updated long-standing cold case of Little Miss Lake
I know that
Panasoffkee.
felt like more of an update than a story. Like just because there's like
I
nothing,
know.
there's
It was
nothing to go off of yet.
so yeah, it was so just like 55 years in the making and now it's like getting a whole new breath of life like
I know. I feel like
investigatively.
this was your moment to be like the first on the ground to say something before it
Yeah, that's me. I'm Barbara Walters, all right, Here I am.
Well, we'll get maybe another update
I'm
if
Nancy Grace, so look out.
maybe as more comes out, we'll get another update on that because I would love to know what happens.
Yes, I'm definitely keeping tabs on it. And yeah, if you have any insight, folks, and like know more about it, because there really wasn't too much online, but I just thought like you said, it is so suddenly relevant that I was like, well, we should talk about it now, you know.
Yeah, it's very rare that you do a topical story.
It is, and it was weird because I was looking up a bunch of different ideas, and then that one intrigued me, so I started like looking more, and then I realized like, oh, if I Google it, like there's like news from within the last 24 hours,
Hmm.
And I was like, that's weird. So yeah, very shocking.
Oh my gosh. Well, nice little I don't know. I don't know what to call that. It feels like a the beginning of what will be a continuation. I feel like I'll
Yeah, that's a good point. It's an introduction to the Little Miss Lake Panasoffkee story. Um and hopefully it will lead to some more answers and more closure and more cold cases getting solved.
and I really do want to hear more about
I would love to do something like that. Yeah.
other ways that like all the machines that they have that teach you how to do like that help
I
you with
watch
stuff and
Bones. Remember when they had all these random fake machines? They were like, step into this. It tells you like what your brain is thinking right now. And I'm like, do people really believe this exists?
well, so one of my best friends is a forensic pathologist, and so I'm sure she's got some intel on
Oh
that too.
yeah.
But when it comes to just the police stuff, I'm like, what the hell is the isotope one always gets me because it sounds the most like Newtonian.
It does. The isotope thing, and then people on Reddit were arguing, and I was like, I'm not going to get into this
Yeah, no,
today.
thank you.
But yeah, I'm curious about it, and I want to admit right here, I know next to nothing about it. It's just to find environmental conditions and try to trace it back somewhere. But yeah, maybe there's like a deep dive. I love like a deep dive like YouTube video, like something where you're like 3 hours and you just learn about like one abandoned theme park or like
Yeah.
one type of investigating, and then I'm like, wow, I'm an expert.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll watch that.
Well, thanks, Christine. What are you doing for the rest of the
Uh,
day, week?
the day. What time is it? Um,
For you, it's
it,
it's both.
I'm
It's the
s-
afternoon.
I'm celebrating my baby boy and his 10
Oh,
years of life. Taking him
little
out in the
man,
town,
little man.
sniffing some stuff, eating some grass.
You should take him to a little doggy toy store. See maybe if there's like a
Now
birthday
that
bone.
now that sounds
Have you ever been to
interesting.
those doggy bakeries? They've always got some weird stuff.
Oh, yes, there's one right by the Potter's Field downtown Cincinnati.
Well,
There is one in that area. It's funny. But yeah, I love that. I'm such a sucker for that.
Me too.
I'm like, he deserves a special little birthday treat with his
I
name on it.
I just told Hank, I was like, you gotta remind me to stop buying you treats because he didn't agree with that. But
You're wrong. That's why. And also, when is his birthday? Do I know this? Do we know this?
May 22nd.
May 22nd.
He's a boy Gemini,
Oh. Oh
which
God.
I
And
know.
May Gemini too.
I know, and a May Gemini, yeah. So he's
Whew. Handful.
pretty much the biggest devil you can find. So
Well, Geo's a Scorpio, if you'll recall. So
they are evenly matched.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I think they've finally found their match.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Oh
happy B-Day,
God.
Geo.
I know, my handsome boy is napping. Yeah, he's gonna get lots of treats. And he says hi to Hank, and he says, just wait for May 22nd. You're gonna get so many treats.
Oh, well, tell little baby G I say. He'll know what it means.
He'll know what it means. I will. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you want to check out our Patreon, we do bonus episodes every week alongside as a supplement to our episodes. And it's like an intermission yappy hour type thing. So you can check that out on your podcast feed or on our Patreon. We also do all sorts of fun, like little bits and stuff on Patreon too. So if you want to check that out, go to patreon.com/ATWWD podcast.
Mhm.
And you can follow our socials and check us out anywhere and everywhere.
And
That's
why
we
drink?
drink.